Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ride or Dice, your favorite RPG show on the internet. You may be noticing that some things look a little bit different today. We have some new faces joining us, as well as a whole new overlay, and we're not playing D&D today. Today we're going to be playing Shadowrun, 5th edition. Like I said, we have some new players at our table, so I'm going to go around the table and have everybody introduce themselves. I'm obviously Dakota. I'm the game runner today for our Shadowrun. And then we'll just go in no particular order. Playing Venya is...
Me! Hi, I'm Leah, also known as Venya.
And then playing Rook.
Hi. You remember me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do have some new viewers watching today, Cameron, so maybe you actually want to introduce yourself as well.
Oh, you may not remember me. That's okay too.
All right, thank you, Cameron. And playing Shade.
It's Brittany, bitch. Everybody knows and begrudgingly loves me. So, yeah.
I was going to say
Brittany,
stop there. Cut it. Everyone knows.
voice acting friend and general friend from the East Coast.
Awesome. And then up in the top right, we have Erskine.
Hi, I'm JD Kelly. Today I'll be playing Erskine, and yeah, I'm in the UK, and yeah, this is it's so good. Yeah, lovely. Carry on.
That's right, baby. Ride or Dice goes intercontinental.
We're a global
loving
organization now.
I'm
Mr.
loving the
Worldwide.
professionalism as well. This
Yeah.
is like that's a commitment to professionalism, and I love it.
Yep.
Diversity scores.
Oh no. Decepticon Keaton is back. We'll skip Coyote for now and go to Strom.
Damn. Hello, I'm the diversity hire. My name is Malik. My name is Malik, and I will be playing Strom.
We're checking all those boxes, baby.
We're checking all them boxes, baby.
We got the Reddit, we got the game, we got the POC.
We got the LGBTs.
We
got
still
the,
have a white guy at the top of the screen.
We're working on it.
Wow.
One day at a
We still
time.
have our white man to lead it all.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Police gonna overthrow with all of his fucking drones.
And then we'll test Keaton. Coyote, are you there?
You're still muted.
Muted. Nope.
With
Well-
JD being here, we thought it was Ride or Dice before, but now it's Ride or Dice!
Dice.
Ride or Dice!
We're all dice.
Hey, bloke, you over a dice.
We're gonna roll a couple dice.
It's Tuesday, isn't it?
So
I just
true.
need to drink out of my bottle of water.
Yeah, Dakota, this was too many people.
Yeah,
We
I
got a
agree.
run in it.
I
I
agree.
blame-
A minute.
I blame Cameron.
All right. Well, in the right square, playing Coyote, we have Keaton from our Illyrian Odyssey campaign as well, who is having some audio difficulties at the moment, which will hopefully be resolved later on. In the meantime,
But
What?
before any of that happens, we got a lot of new faces here today.
it's
And
true.
a lot of these people play video games. And did you know that you can get a free video game from Amazon Prime yourself by integrating your integrating your Twitch.television account with your Amazon Prime account? Right now, you can get, and Leah, I hope you're listening. You can get the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind Game of the Year edition for goddamn free.
Hell yeah.
That's a game that was
Now
released
that's a
at
pitch.
least 125 years ago for 5 shekels at that point. You can get it now for basically like a toenail, but you can get it for free from Twitch. You know what else you can get? A free Twitch Prime subscription that you can give to any of your favorite creators at least once. But maybe more. You can give it to any of us. Many of us here stream. Keaton streams, Lear streams, Malik streams,
The hard
JD
R.
streams. I don't
I
know
think we
if
all stream here.
I don't know if Brittany streams, but I'd
Brittany
believe it.
streams as well,
So
yeah.
I stream.
Hashtag
Brittany
follow vocal tones.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
follow at Vocal Tones.
I make the stream come true.
I'd say give it
Ooh.
to any one of our players except for the guy sitting at the top.
Please, you can. I encourage you to, in fact.
Cam
Don't-
streams.
Hashtag
Don't
ad.
give
I spent
Dakota
so
a
long.
Prime subscription until he plays Morrowind 2023.
How
I
much is
spent so
Amazon
much
paying
on
you for that?
Morrowind as well.
I will
I
literally
played
cancel.
enough.
I will cancel Shadowrun.
Maybe
Morrowind
give him a
instead.
Prime subscription if you're feeling
You
like
could
it.
give him a singular one and then give the rest to all of us.
Do you have any time for our Lord and Savior Morrowind?
Yeah.
Do you have any time for our Lord and Savior Dagoth
Thank you, Cameron, so much for that. Oh, hey, thank you for the Prime sub as well. Justice for Dakota, that's right. I just want to throw a few quick shout-outs out there. First of all, welcome into the stream, Peak Tokyo and Geeks with Kids. Welcome, first time chatting. Oh, thank you for the Prime sub, Hunter. Oh, man, the
Woo!
adverts, they work. Holy shit.
Tier 1 subscription?
I put everybody, I think I spelled your Twitch handles correctly. If I was smarter, I would have set up a command that would have just done that automatically. But feel free to go check out those Twitch profiles, drop them a follow, drop them a Prime sub if you haven't already given me your Prime sub. And then, yeah, they're all great people. Awesome.
I think it would be funny in the line of advertising if we could advertise bullying Dakota, just real quick. It's one of my favorite pastimes and it's free. So have fun, kids. Don't use slurs, but like be creative.
No slaves.
Wait,
He said I'm a
Huh?
subscriber.
However, I would recommend not angering the GM.
What a great segue.
We'll see. We'll see.
Awesome.
It's a
So-
quick way to add minions to our encounter.
Dakota just
Exactly.
goes, all right, okay.
I see you all chose violence today. That's fine. Awesome.
Choose violence every goddamn day, baby.
Cyber police turn up with rocket launchers. No.
Yeah.
So, with that, shall we get into things?
I don't think so.
All right.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
All right. Shadowrun. So, you are all in the year 2112. You are residents, perhaps visitors, to the city, New Paragon City. Despite wherever you came from, thank you for the gifted sub, Ian. Appreciated.
Right.
Despite where you all came from, you've all ended up in this city and have ended up somehow in the seedy underground of New Paragon. You have contacts here that have helped you do small jobs over the years. You've been able to pull off a couple of successful runs, as they're called. But for the most part, you haven't adopted any sort of formal team. You haven't really established any notoriety within the law enforcement. But you have attracted the attention of a mysterious benefactor. One of your contacts, a fixer by the name of Rover, has asked each of you to come meet up at a gas station a little bit outside of town. Once there, he ushers you inside, and you can see Rover is a dwarf man. He has long white hair. He has tattoos that kind of like cover half of his face and crawl down his arm and across part of his chest. He wears a sleeveless
Holy
shirt.
space right now is
Who wants to call him Red? Red Rover. I know it.
He wears a sleeveless shirt and some loose-fitting jeans. And he ushers each of you into one of the back rooms of the gas station. And you can see beyond the sort of initial storefront of the gas station is a very advanced control room of sorts for someone with a lot of connections and a lot of resources. Whoever takes you back there, and he sits you down in a bunch of different chairs across boxes. There's not much in the way of seating. It's not exactly a parlor, but more a kind of warehouse vibe. Sits each of you down, and I'm going to go ahead and allow you to go around and introduce your characters. We'll go in opposite order of where we went. Keaton, how's your audio sounding?
I think he can hear us.
He's deafened, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
he's deafened. Never mind. Okay,
He's also unsure.
awesome.
That was a mic joke.
We'll start with you, Strom, then.
Ooh, I get the first introductions. Hello, I'm Strom Erlin. I am an elf. There's not much you need to know about me. It's just that I'm really good at tracking, and I can find whoever you need, wherever it is. So,
Nice. All right. What does Strom look like?
oh, right. I am an elf. I'm above average height. I have nice blue hair and like cyberware kind of scattered throughout my body, particularly in like my eyes and ears to help me enhance with vision. They're kind of glowing blue. And he's a little bit more dark skinned.
There you go. Erskine, how about yourself?
Hello there, everybody. My name's Erskine. I'm a human. Some might call me a face. I call myself a con man. Broker deals between a lot of different people here and there. You know, you want to find something, you want to negotiate something, you want to get somewhere, get something done. Just ask me, and I'll figure it out for you. I'm 6 foot tall. I've got graying blonde hair and eyes that glow softly in cobalt, as they are also enhanced, and you can also see parts of my cheeks and skin on my body that I'm enhanced in various different ways, but still appear human. And yeah, looking forward to finding out what all this is about.
Excellent. Shade?
Oh, howdy, y'all. My name's Shade. Y'all already met my brother, Strom. Real tall, real strong, got lots of robots and stuff. But me, on the other hand, I got some shitty luck. So, like, I'm holing up with my brother. He lets me sleep there on weekends as long as I bring some good food, which I usually do. But, you know, missions might run well, but the rest of my life, just the worst fucking luck you could ever believe. He's got blue hair, but I got a faux hawk that's real nice, and it's purple. People think we're twins, but it's gotta be a little different.
Nice.
And
Rook?
no, we don't have the same accent. I like to
We
leave
will,
people
though.
guessing.
We will. We have the same accent.
Rook, you're up.
Hello. I'm Rook. And he's just like pretty athletic looking young man. He's got like spikier black hair, and outside of that he is pretty unnoticeable. He's wearing like a black hoodie and like black cargo pants and boots. And he's got a helmet and a gun propped up against his leg.
Nice.
Like, Rover told me that you could use some help. Here I am.
Very nice. And Venya.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Venya, and I don't know. I'm just a little person, and I don't know that it's anything to talk about, but you know, I'm more known online. My persona on True Lives is Hot Sexy Venya. And she's really cute and really funny and very very nice. So go find my profile if you wanna meet up sometime in online sphere. I'm much more comfortable. And Venya has like huge bags under her eyes, and like her eyes are like wired looking. She's got like stains on her jacket where she's like wiped like Tito dust. Yeah. Like,
Oh my
she's
god.
chronically online.
He's like, like and subscribe.
Yeah, like in her hand, like her shaking hand is like an energy drink, and she's just like, yeah, this is fine. Anyway, I'm like good with computers or whatever.
Very nice.
Sponsored by G Fuel.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Awesome. So Rover says, okay, so I all brought you here. And typically you all know that means I got a job, but even this one it's a little out there. The client says they wanted something to be handled discreetly if possible, but that bottom line was that it had to be done. So
Y'all, can we do discreet?
I'm pretty good with discreet.
Just want to make sure, because we got a lot of boomsticks around here, you know?
Nah, you don't need to worry about it.
Too discreet. We'll just waltz in there and ask them to give us what we want.
okay, all right, good luck. Here's the deal. No, we still can't hear you. So here's the deal. A little while ago, the client came to me and told me that that there's something they want very badly in a vault inside the city. Block on the inside. Little regional bank by the name of Apex Holdings Incorporated. I don't know how much experience you guys have with vaults or safe cracking or anything like that, but that's a job. It pays really well if you want to take it. The client, in fact, is offering you 30,000 credits each up front before you even head into the job. On top of that, they're letting you take anything on the inside of the vault except for a small briefcase that has the letters SAV-37 on it.
Hold on a second there, mate. I think you might be overlooking something. Two parts to this.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, what if the briefcase is the only thing in the vault? In which case, we're not getting very much compensation, and I feel like, especially a group of trained professionals such as this, should get as much compensation as they possibly can for something you've already admitted is well out of the remit of a normal type of job a fixer like yourself might be giving us. In addition to that, you're saying that it's Apex Holding? Well, we know that there are more corporations at stake in this city, so perhaps tell us who's really in charge of Apex Holdings, because that's obviously going to be some kind of front or subsidiary of a larger company.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion
Bo did
test.
his fucking homework.
Keaton? No.
Mm-mm.
I don't know what's going on. Is your mic on?
Have you
He
tried
went
putting it
so-
in rice?
Yes, it
He
is.
went
Oh
so-
god, he looks very mad that he even suggested
Yeah.
that.
I've been on the side of like stuff randomly not working,
Mhm.
and it sucks. It's furious, but maybe he's like a street samurai who's sworn a vow
Can
of
anyone else
silence.
hear him? Is it just
Oh,
me?
it lit up. It lit up.
Justice for Keaton.
Hello?
Hey!
Yay! You're off,
Hey.
but you're there.
Quiet.
It's quiet, but your box is lighting up.
I'm turned way down. I've turned myself way down. How's
Start
that?
making out with the mic a little bit, you know. Whisper sweet nothings.
ASMR
Hot.
Keaton.
Very hot.
Do you mean negotiation or persuasion?
Either or. I'll let you pick either or. By the way,
Okay.
to anybody
Cool.
watching, we are very, very loosely familiar with the rules on Shadowrun. So there's going to be lots of on the off the cuff calls. I beg you, please don't backseat us. We're gonna play the game however we feel comfortable with it. It's our first time playing this system, so
House rules.
yeah.
Our viewer count is dropping.
The hardcore Shadowrun gamers out there.
They heard me go full Southern. They're like, nope, I can't do it.
No.
Gotta back out.
Can't do it.
8 successes.
8 successes, very nice. We'll modify that by your social limit as well.
Of course, yes. Which is 8. So.
Oh, nice. 8. Nice. Very good. Perfect. So, you managed to talk Rovar. He's like, all right. I was getting to all of that other stuff. As far as the vault goes, let me tackle the ownership question first. The Apex Holdings Inc. is a subsidiary under Ginny Incorporated. You might know Ginny Incorporated. They're one of the 7 big corporations that own most of the companies nowadays. That being said, it is a smaller regional bank, but under whatever regulatory law or something like that, we know that the banks have to hold at least 500,000 credits in available assets on any given day. So, I know there's going to be something there. It's yours for the taking. The upfront cost, the upfront payment is really to entice you into doing it. If you guys don't want to take the job, I can always go and find someone else. But like I said, this is I heard this job came
I
up.
personally have always wanted a bank heist. Just throwing that
There you
out
go.
there. Love me a good heist episode.
I just refuse to bring her on anything. I'm just saying, I'm a pretty good tracker on my own. Just like I said, this is something I typically could have held on my own. What's in this briefcase that's so important that I can't be trusted on my own?
The client won't tell me. All that they've told me is that this briefcase is filled with something that's incredibly important enough to them. So important that they're willing to give up around 500, 600,000 credits to you guys.
I would suspect that the fact that they've brought along these 2 muscle-bound fellows, as I point to keep the camera's characters, and the rest of you, specialists in your own areas, that they're expecting a lot of resistance, especially one of the largest corporations running this in entirety. There's going to be a lot of security. This is going to be a very difficult job. In which case, just over 80,000 each, splitting 500,000 6 ways, plus the 30,000 in advance, I don't think should be quite enough. I would think at least 50,000 in advance would possibly cover us for doing a job of this magnitude.
Give me a negotiation check. I'm going to say at disadvantage, since you've already been pushing him.
Look, I'm poor, so like I can buy so much ramen with that.
Nah, I'm with the face here. My babies ain't cheap.
I'm gonna sidebar and be like, so like, what if we just kept the briefcase? Like, what would happen if we just, it seems pretty valuable, so we could just turn down the job, but then go get the briefcase anyway, and then sell it for whatever the
Y'all
market
ever seen
value is.
Ultraviolet? There's
No,
probably like
I
a
don't know what
person
that is.
in the briefcase.
5.
Ooh.
Like a baby or something, or like a kid. Not in a messed up way. If you saw the movie, it makes sense. You like they pull him out of the brief. It's a whole thing. Never mind.
5 successes.
5 successes. All right. First of all, you should know that the clients came to me and said, I have enough assets to put together a team of 6. So pick your 6, whoever you want on the team. So I'm putting this team together. Client didn't pick you. I picked you. I'm willing to take out another 60,000 out of my own fee to pay you an additional 10K each. And that's as high as I'm willing to go for the advance fee. So 40,000 each, plus whatever's in the vault, which is going to be at least 500,000 credits. That nets you a nice prize.
123,333 credits each, in theory.
In theory, at least.
I think I like the
Assuming
number
everything
3.
goes well.
Dakota, what did you say what cyber corporation was behind this holdings company?
Ginny Incorporated.
Uh, could I use my organized crime knowledge skill for the area to see if I could roll like an idea of where they keep their money typically, or if this is like a
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. Give me a whatever knowledge check that is. Modified by your mental limit.
okay. Where do I see a mental limit?
It should be at the top of the page, right underneath your
I need to look at the
attributes.
screen. Wrong thing. Yours is 3 successes.
That is 3 successes.
Nice. There you go. So you know that many of the mega corporations don't have direct ties to organized crime, of course, and that Ginny Incorporated does have a much larger subsidiary bank called Ginny Financial Services. So this is really just one of many casualties on their way to becoming a mega corporation, as a small regional bank that they've acquired that will probably eventually be converted over to their main holdings. But for now, it's held up to less scrutiny.
Because it's held up to less scrutiny, is it possible that they are holding things that are off the books there?
Absolutely. Yep.
I will relay that.
Cool.
Interesting.
That's the job. 40,000 up front.
Well, you've secured my services. I don't know about the rest of these fellas.
Sounds good to me. I always love a good puzzle.
I would have done it for less. If I'm honest, I appreciate what you're doing. So thanks. I wouldn't have asked.
All right, great. Well,
She's-
I'll take your 10,000 back then.
She's joking. She's joking. She would have done it for far more than that. And
Yeah,
I elbow.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
so expensive. I'm so in demand. Yeah, constantly working. Are you hiring?
Yes, right now. All right, good. Well, I've uploaded the address of Apex to your I don't know, comm links. Feel free to go and check the place out. Clients would like it done within a week. So take a few days, scope the place out, plan out your attack, and then whenever you're ready to strike, be sure that you're doing it the right way. Be surgical.
You're using the words attack and strike here, mate. And it makes me wonder, what are the restrictions? You said you preferred subtlety, if possible, but what are the restrictions? Like, how loud can this get?
The clients... Here's the thing. When you go up to bat against a mega corporation, they're going to bring all their forces to bear on you if you manage to land a hit on them. If you go in loud and proud and let them know whoever you are or what organization that you work for, they'll bring their corporate security down on you and down on me by extension. So yes, I'd prefer you to be a little bit more quiet about things, but the client has issued no specific stipulations about how quiet you need to be. The only thing that matters to the client is getting this briefcase.
Right.
How long have you known the client?
I don't even know the client now. Client hasn't given me a name, hasn't given me anything besides the details of the job and a wire transfer.
How are you planning to get the goods to the client? Do we just give the goods to you and you handle that part of the
Correct.
operation? Good.
What if you die? Who do we give it to?
I
Very
imagine
good
the
point.
client will be in touch with you at that point.
All right.
Are you expecting his death?
It's a
You
good
just never
question.
know. Happens a lot in this industry. People just turn up dead.
Life is
I
cheap in
turn
this
up,
city.
but only when I party.
Shade.
But turn up for what?
Turn down. I've never turned down an offer.
Oh my goodness.
Anywho, I love me a stakeout. Let's find out their little loops, because they always got little plans, little ways they walk around.
Well, I've
Maybe
got a van
sneaky.
outside if anybody wants a lift.
Oh, that doesn't sound that safe. You got candy.
Not that kind of van.
Still unmarked though, so
Hell
let's
yeah.
get rolling.
I've really missed my opportunity to stake a claim on an accent, didn't I?
I mean, he still got some. You can blame it on technical
I'm gonna be
difficulties.
quiet. I have completely reinstalled all of my audio drivers.
No, this is fine. I've
Very
turned your
quiet.
volume up on my end, so we'll just have you be a little bit quiet. That's okay. Thank you.
I'm sorry that you're going through that, Keith.
Yeah. Why don't we have you introduce your character really quick before we head out? Were you able to
Yeah.
hear anything of the setup? Okay, cool.
Nope.
I'll fill you in on the break.
That's Hi.
We could have a previously on X-Men moment.
Hello, I'm Keaton. I usually play Garm on Rider Dice.
But no longer.
Oh man, this is really unfortunate. But tonight, I'm the coyote.
Woo!
Y'all, we all Southern. This is great.
So I
He's
did
like,
not
very
pick
Southern,
my
I'm just
accent
telling you.
well.
New Paragon is now canonically in the American Southeast.
Absolutely.
Is it too late to retcon?
Are you turning Russian? Like,
No, I just meant like she wasn't really that southern.
All right. Cool. And what does Coyote look like?
Well, Coyote is about 5 feet tall. He's pretty stocky in build, but pretty solid. Buff. Wears a sleeveless bulletproof vest primarily. He's got red, long, wavy hair and a short red beard that's tapered off and tied off into a little beard ponytail. Wears a black bandana across his forehead, and you see he's got some sort of like cargo pants, but about partway down the thigh, his legs become transfer into very elaborate prosthetic legs. They've got backwards, kind of like bird leg kind of thing. You can see they're very powerful pneumatic tubes. I don't know what pneumatic things are called.
Like pistons?
Like pistons.
Is it like
Thank
in Kingsman when the girl has like the
It's not like in Kingsman with the lady with the stored feet.
You know that
First of
cat
all,
has
her
asked.
name
Me
is
as well.
Sophia
I have as
Bueya.
well.
He does, in fact, have blades in his prosthetic legs, but
Hell
they
yeah.
are, they
Hell
are
yeah.
primarily
Fuck yeah.
robotic legs.
I'm gonna call you
the
Blade.
closest thing I can think of is like there's like a League of Legends champion that has like blade legs like that. So
Awesome.
I would just
Um,
call them Blegs.
So just to
blades.
briefly catch you up, Coyotes. You're being paid to rob a briefcase from a bank called Apex Holdings Inc., a subsidiary of Ginny Incorporated. And right now the crew is heading out to begin their reconnaissance.
Our nickname for this mission is I'm a Ginny in a briefcase, baby. Come on in, steal me out.
Before you guys leave, Rover tosses you each cred sticks filled with 40k.
Okay.
Poor
Shit, I'm
Keaton.
rich.
Interesting that he already had them prepared to be
Gonna fuck
40k.
right off.
Just saying. It's like he knew I was gonna
He knows
Close,
you all
just
too
button
well.
it up.
Well, we got a
Yeah.
good face for sure. I could never. If I was the face, I would have been like, okay, bye. I'll take any amount. That sounds great.
I assume when we head outside, my van is there, but Malik's van is there also.
Correct, as
And
well as Venya's scooter.
We got so many vans.
Mine's a little occupado.
I I turn to say, so am I following you or are you following me?
I think actually I'm gonna just have mine on autopilot to follow yours.
Oh,
Alright.
fancy. See, I was hoping y'all would just drive side by side like your best friends, and then like you roll your windows down, you play the same songs on the radio, and you just like singing all the way.
Shade, I love you to death, but we're supposed to be inconspicuous.
You're
As
right.
this
You're right.
conversation happens, I'm gonna pull Rover to the side and be like, "You really got a crew this time. 3 cowboys."
How dare you?
You
My
know,
sister
it's
is a
funny, I've only
cowgirl.
worked with them on
Yeah.
individual jobs. I
Cowgirl.
didn't realize that putting them together would mean 3 southern accents in one group. It's not unheard of, but to be honest, I just didn't think about it. I didn't think about how the accents would match up with each other.
To be fair, this city is only so big. We all gonna have the same accent.
Alrighty.
I call shotgun.
Can I ask, with the seems like Rook's on a motorcycle,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mhm.
Is there room enough in the back of my van for him to put the motorcycle in?
I would imagine so. I would think so, to put the
Mhm.
motorcycle in.
Same
yeah.
with the scooter for sure.
Probably.
I would assume
probably
that I
not-
was driving the
There's probably
motorcycle.
not much room for like all of you plus the motorcycle and the scooter.
Well, that's my thought. Is we've effectively got 2 vans,
Right.
Mhm.
so like people can travel in one van, and the other van can hold the scooter and motorcycle. Or, Rook will probably want to ride his motorcycle, so fine. But it just means in future we can properly Night Rider it and like
Yeah.
deploy people out.
Yeah, we like
Mhm.
Matrix, just, like ride into the
Mhm.
van and then.
It'll be
I got a
awesome.
little bike mount on the back of it. You can put your little motorcycle on it.
And
Economical.
Malik's drones, I assume, will also take up a little bit of room in the
Yeah.
in his van. But I'm assuming, like in my head, some of them would be like roof mounted as well, so they're just
Yeah.
ready to just like boom, and off they go.
They fold up as well. So
What will you guys do if every session I changed my accent and then Malik would have to change his accent?
I feel pretty good about
That
it.
would be incredible.
really testing my
I feel
abilities.
pretty
I
good
thought
about
about
it.
I think
Shade,
a
I was
positive,
like-
yeah.
What if nobody knows what my real accent is?
I mean, you
The
know
next
us
day,
elves.
A2,
Mysterious.
I
I'm like
love-
Russian, and you're like, what the fuck?
I love the idea of Shade and Strom and like getting breakfast together in the morning. Like Strom being like, "All right, what are we doing today?"
Yeah, Strong just silent for like 2 hours waiting for Shade to talk.
Exactly.
One French shade. I want a storm.
And I'm just like, right, so about this heist later. And he's like, Jesus Christ.
I think you're gonna find my accent limitation is very low.
He'll be like, you'll never get the hold of me, Lucky Charms.
Alrighty.
Cyber charms.
So
We just lost Tokyo.
rip. So you guys are all heading over to Apex Holdings.
Yeah.
I'm
Awesome.
gonna use part of my money to buy a steak on the way there, though, because if we're having a stakeout, I'm gonna have my steak out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Lord.
Very good. Very good.
I have not eaten real meat in a while.
if you're stopping somewhere, you know, can I get like another one of these energy drinks? You know, I like Glitter Bomb. That's my favorite one, but any'll do. You know.
Yeah, you know, any old futuristic 7-Eleven's got all that, you know, steak and energy drink. So sure, why not? I'll get you one.
Exactly, yeah,
I'll get you
yeah,
one.
yeah.
I have the money. You know what? It's on me.
11.
It's on me.
Oh, thank you so much.
Shade, how many times have I
It's-
told you to not eat steak from the fucking gas station?
It's 700,000.
Listen, I've had my glizzies. I've had my roadside pizza. You gotta let me have my 7-Eleven steak. My 24/7 7-Eleven steak.
Fine, we'll stop on the way. But can one of you please keep your eyes out in case we're being either followed, watched, or about to be seen?
What do you
Yeah, if
think
you've
my
got
babies are
cybernetic
doing?
eyes, you can keep your eyes out.
Cool. You guys head into the downtown area of New Paragon, and you do see that there's a lot of blue hat patrol cars going through the streets and patrolling for any sign of deviancy or criminal acts or anything like that. A lot of the like regular people are just going about their day, and your drive eventually takes you over to the financial district, where you see a small building. It looks like just one, maybe two floors, of and it like kind of harkens back to old elven architecture, but it is emblazoned in gold letters across the front: Apex Holdings Incorporated.
Fucking cultural appropriation. You see this, Strom?
Exactly. It's always, and they think we don't know what they're doing here, but we know exactly what's going on.
Gentrification is why I don't have a house no more.
The fuck you sleep with me in my house? What the fuck do
I
you
know.
mean?
It ain't my house though.
Do either of you know, like, culturally, what that kind of building's layout would be?
I'm glad you think we're learned.
Hold on. So, okay, here's the thing. Where we come from, floor 1 is the main floor, okay? Because sometimes they got a base floor, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that'll throw you off. Floor 1 is just the base floor. So that's what you gotta know about elven architecture.
Mhm.
Right.
You don't want to be going to the 13th floor and you're actually on the 14th, know what I'm saying?
Is it? Could I like a hack, for like a map or something?
Of the
Like
building.
a blueprint?
Yeah, of the like a blueprint or some. Yeah.
So you would probably know that blueprints of that kind are likely being held in a server, probably both at like the corporate headquarters and also on site at the actual building. So you would have to make your way past the cybersecurity of the building in order to get blueprints.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah,
Pretty tricksy.
that would be
Cool.
easier than hacking the company, right?
Probably to make it past corporate headquarters. Yeah, I would imagine.
Well,
It's
why don't
possible
I
that you might
go-
also be able to find like maybe some like at a public utility building. You could probably find some like old blueprints, but you don't know how in date they would be.
Well,
And I-
why don't I go in and set up my own account whilst I'm doing that? Distracting them.
Wow.
You could hack into the system.
Party hydrate, by the
Well-
way. Thank you, Ian.
Ooh.
I love that
When he goes in to set up his account, can I plant some of my drones on him so that when he walks in, they're inside the building and can spy for us?
Absolutely.
Oh, like inside his jacket, and then he opens it up, and it's like, "Go, babies, be free."
Well, I'm gonna deploy the small ones, so they don't really need to be anything
Just be on the back
grand
of my
Oh,
like
shoulder
so
or
not the
something
one with the
and, yeah.
bazooka then. All right, I was just making sure we're being sneaky.
Yeah.
But we're only looking at this from one side of the building. Meanwhile, the other two, both Rook and Coyote, could be looking around the other sides of the building to see if there's other ways in.
Well, yeah, actually, I was gonna give you one of my ants, and then I was gonna spend Arachne on the outside of the building to get some external info.
Hey, Strom. Any of your drones got any little cameras or anything like that?
They all got cameras, and they all got laser microphones as well, so they can hear on the other side of walls.
What's the general block layout look for these buildings?
The block layout, like where it is in relation to other buildings.
Yeah.
So it's it's separated by a narrow alley on all sides, pretty much. One side of it is straight up against the street, and there's like a small parking lot behind the actual bank, but it's an alleyway of maybe like 15, 20 feet or so between the next building, which looks like an apartment of some kind.
About how tall is that?
That's probably goes up 7 stories or so, and then one on the other side of it goes up about 5 stories. So it's a difference of like 3 stories from the roof of the shortest apartment building to the roof of the bank.
And this Are there any like fire escapes or anything like that?
Not that you see.
Shit. Hmm.
Is this on
Oh,
like
on the sorry, on the apartment buildings?
Yes.
Yes, there would be. Yeah, for sure.
Is this on like the outskirts of the city?
No, this is pretty close to downtown. You're in like you're near the outer edges of the financial district, which is surrounded by pretty densely packed city blocks.
Are
Where
these,
the rich people's stocks live.
Yeah.
are these buildings noticeably shorter than like any sort of mega structure or anything like that in the
Correct.
downtown area?
Yeah. They look fairly similar to what we as players would expect from a city. This is certainly a shorter area of town. There's no like skyscrapers or anything in the immediate vicinity. About a mile or two to the west is like the heart of downtown, where there's a bunch of skyscrapers, each raising up probably 100 of stories into the sky.
Do you know how tall these buildings are in meters?
No.
For instance, I have 100 meters of rope with that.
I just googled this. Seven stories, which was the taller of the buildings, is 21 meters.
Oh,
you.
so
'Cause
I can
was
literally-
We got rope for days.
I have to do this, man.
If you had a weird building kink, you could like rope that thing up.
Mhm. And we wouldn't
Shibari
judge.
building coverage.
So
So
generally
Ain't
a
got no
story
shame.
is about 4.3 meters. Roughly 4 meters.
There you go. I don't know the metric system. I don't have any great frames of references for the metric system.
Shouldn't have went international.
So
We weren't
bear with
prepared
me.
for this.
I now have a convert meters to stories calculator up, so I'll be able to do
We're
that
gonna
math
break down
very
to
quickly.
centimeters now.
So my intention is to try and run up the side of the building and take Erskine's rope with me and like tie that off to something or tighten that off, whatever. So to do that, I have to make a running plus a strength / magic test to indicate the number of meters I can climb up in an action phase.
All right.
What the hell does that mean?
So do you have the running skill?
Oh, that's true. There is a running skill. I do have a running skill.
Okay, cool.
yes.
So you take whatever your rating in the running skill is plus your strength attributes. You roll them together.
Can I assist?
How are you assisting?
Running?
A little boost.
I can hack his legs.
Super hack his legs.
And like triangulate the
That's
coordinates
all,
for
that's all
the.
hindering, not.
Yeah,
I
he's
could
halfway up the
fucking-
building and then the leg
I-
seize up.
I will say
Yeah, I could fucking amputate him.
You
Straight
can-
away.
you can absolutely try, and it will either help Coyote or it will cause him to fall flat on his face about 3 stories up on the building. So, Coyote, you're allowed to respond to Venya's mischievous look in their eye.
How confident do you feel about this building charge?
Well, I kind of had another plan in case that didn't work right, but I have to pull
Got
up
it.
the
Got it. Yeah,
I
no,
say
I
go
will
for
stop
it.
talking.
I've got to
I
pull
will-
up the statistics of that Adam as well. So
I
Chance
will
starts
say,
shooting.
running up the side of a building is almost sure to draw the attention of some blue hats around the block.
I would also like to say I have a plan B. I already planned on deploying my spider robot on the side of the building. You could just
Like,
give
lift
him
it
the
up?
rope and he could tie it onto something.
Oh man, I was
we,
real excited to sing that song. Running up that hill, running up
I
that
mean-
building,
Shay, you can always sing it.
or running, running, and running.
This is
Could
the
we,
point where I
make
regret
a-
that we've tied in our comm systems to each other.
Distraction to
One day you'll
not
be thankful.
not draw attention to the person running up the building. We could do something. We could sing a song outside.
That's what I'm saying. I can go distract. And if anybody wants to fuck with me, I technomance my way out, you know? They call me a technoman. Tick.
How
I'll put
loud?
out like a little online ad for Shade
Craigslist.
performing in the square.
Strom, do any of your little
Starts doing the
drones
robot.
have the ability to broadcast over a speaker?
My babies. Broadcast over a speaker.
As in, do they have any like integral speaker systems?
Yeah, they could be like my boombox, you know?
Well,
Let's
that's
get
what
think
started.
I'm wondering. How
Let's
loud a
get
distraction
started.
can Shade
I
make?
don't have any that can do that. I have some that can explode.
That is less subtle.
Like fireworks.
That's the best I got. They're more for spying, not really so much for making noise.
If Shade can be as loud as possible
Oh, I can
on
be
the,
fucking
on the
loud and
street,
annoying.
not only would it distract any blue hats from seeing Coyote going up the building, but it might also draw some of the security from Apex Holdings outside of the building, giving Venya even more of a chance to hack their systems.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, Shade, that as a technomancer, you would know that you are very highly coveted by Megacorps.
I do know that. They do want to steal me and poke around on my brain. So
So
maybe I shouldn't have people run after me.
I was gonna say maybe the distraction play.
Second thought.
Ooh.
I'm supposed to hide in the van all the time.
Well, we
Like,
do
I thought
have,
about this and I was like, oh no.
we do have one of our biggest guns on a motorcycle right by
What-
her.
Is there like a TV screen? There's always shit like lights and stuff. Is there something I could like fuck with a little bit or make like a weird message appear? So
Probably.
that people are like, oh, what's going
Yeah,
wrong
sure.
with this screen?
We'll say there's a big billboards on one of the taller buildings across the street from the bank.
What is the corporation? The Dragon.
Ginny?
Ginny Incorporated. Well, the bank is Apex Holding Incorporated, and it's a subsidiary of Ginny Incorporated.
Cameron had his hand up.
Cameron?
So we're committed to this. Sorry, I'm pulling up fix. We're committed to this distraction plan, right?
Sure. You guys can do
Let-
your stuff while
Yeah,
I'm distracted.
I
Unless you've got a better idea.
well, I was gonna say I could just start like a street race in front of a bunch of the blue hats and get them to chase me down the road.
Hmm.
Mm.
But what if you get caught? That's the thing I'm always worried about.
I haven't been caught yet.
Well, I trust you. Shit. Vroom
So
vroom, motherfucker.
trusting.
Do you have any context where you could get others involved in the street race as well?
I just figured I would rev my really loud, really fast motorcycle annoyingly in front of a bunch of the blue hats.
Oh, and I can change the signs to be like, race is on, motherfucker. And they'll be like, oh, I'm being taunted. Or like, blue hats suck.
Like a 3, 2,
slow.
1 countdown, go. So it seems like an official race.
Yeah.
What a way to ruin a blue hat's day. First of all, there's some asshole revving his engine right next to them. Secondly, he sees a billboard that says blue hats suck. And he's like, all right, well, that's just mean.
They got the classic, I was 2 days from retirement.
Yup.
Yeah. I'm getting too old for this shit.
Yeah,
Flips his car. His poor family.
it's poor family.
Okay, well, I'll just, whatever you want me to say on the little TV screens or whatever's nearby, I'll just start doing. And I'll light them up as you go.
I will say, before we commit to the distraction play, most apartment buildings do have a roof access. You don't necessarily have to climb up the side of the building to get
It's
on
like,
top.
did we want to wait for the drones to
For
do the
someone to go in.
recon? Did we-
Before we start a
Really was
street race and draw all of your...
idea to like go fast. We just go.
This is
up
our
to the
dystopian future,
outside.
okay?
Absolutely. You're more than welcome to try it. It's just going to draw
Wait
a
a
lot
minute.
of attention.
They're
Well,
blue
the
hats.
distraction is for me and Venya as well. Like
It's true.
Because if there's more eyes there are outside of the building, the less eyes there are inside
Yeah.
the building.
Like you can be at the desk and
Um,
be like, "What the fuck is going on out there?" So like they're blue, right? So we can make Sonic jokes and be like, "Gotta go fast." You probably don't know about Sonic.
What are you referencing?
Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
It's an elven thing. You wouldn't get it.
I believe it was.
There's a magical blue hedgehog where we come from, okay? And he has rings. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
Next,
know
you'll be
shit. He
telling me
lives on
there's
a
some
green
kind
hill.
of plumber who hits his head on bricks and eats coins.
Yeah, and he's got that brother that's green, right?
Mm-hmm. You mean Bob? Yeah.
Bob.
We know him. He does our plumbing.
Bob.
Bob Mario.
You know what? I'm just gonna walk around the outside of this fucking building.
Okay, cool.
I would
just
like
gonna
to
look
deploy my
around.
drones. My little babes.
Shade's gonna stay in the van where she belongs.
Yes. Go back to the van, Shade. You know damn well where you're supposed to be.
She wizard.
So if the van is like in an alley or parked somewhere inconspicuous, I'm gonna sort of loop around a little bit because I'm very conspicuous. And I'm
Yeah, were we just gonna
gonna
stake out first, or are we just doing this?
I'm just gonna walk. I'm gonna.
You were
Staking
supposed
out
to
and stealing the blueprints, right?
Well, all of this is just effectively just recon, but
Yeah.
and I'm
just
assuming
making sure I don't
Venya's only
gotta-
going to hack if Venya knows that they can't get caught.
Yeah, she
Okay.
got this.
So we have Erskine heading physically into the bank. We have Coyote taking a look around the outside of the building. Strom is deploying drones. Shade, what are you doing?
Doing my best. I am sitting in the van and I'm just gonna wait in case my powers are needed.
Okay.
If we end up needing a good distraction and straight racing and just saying antagonizing shit, I'm there.
Okay, cool.
I will keep my mouth shut until then.
So you're on backup duty.
Mhm.
Rook, what are you up to?
Duty.
I am not drawing any attention.
You're on backup as well. Okay, Venya, and you're hacking into the building, correct? Okay, great.
Venya needs to be on site, is that right?
Do I need to be on site, or can I just like get close enough to get to
You
their
have to
Wi-Fi?
go in and get hook up to a server.
So as you're doing I'll say you're doing an initial cyberspace recon, you find that the bank is enclosed in a host, which is so all of the grid is monitored by the Grid Overwatch Division, or GOD, and hosts have their own private cybersecurity suites. So in order to interact with anything on the inside of the host, your persona, your cyber person, will have to enter the bank digitally.
But I don't have to physically.
You do not have to physically.
So I'll protect her body.
I'm in the van. I'm in the van,
you're
and
focusing.
it's a hot, sexy van. You're talking. You see Venya as I go into my cyber persona, literally pull a Christopher Reeve Superman and
We're just
sit
back
up
straight.
straight, yeah, fucking this is her sphere. She is not a person in real life.
Hair gets let down.
Yeah, exactly. She takes her glasses off. She's like, ah.
Shade's gonna panic and look out the window.
Nice.
Magical girl transformation in this van.
Yeah.
Sailor Mooning it.
Yeah.
Are you interacting through I'm guessing VR then? Virtual reality? Okay, cool. Because I guess AR you would have to go
audio.
physically into the
Virtual
building.
reality.
So you start interacting in VR. Do you want so there's two kinds of VR interaction you can do. It's called cold sim or hot sim. And cold sim means that you're essentially cutting off physical sensation from the VR. And hot sim, you're enabling physical sensation. The danger of hot sim is that while you're thinking and reacting to everything faster because it's not going through a filter, it does mean that any sort of grid dangers that you face are physically linked to your actual body as well. It's a risk reward. You go faster, but you also
It's like
are
raging
linked.
as a barbarian.
Pretty
It's-
much, yeah.
Yeah, close. Yeah.
No, I thought a hot sim
Digital
was when they go
rage.
sul sul.
Narmo
welcome.
Gazeb.
I've never played Sims, but Kritzia does the voice for Sims. That's the only reason I know that.
I mean, it's hot, sexy venue, so gotta go in hot.
Okay, cool.
Toasty.
All right, we'll do this one at a time. So, Coyote, why don't we have you make a perception test first? Two. Okay, cool. So you start checking around the building, trying as hard as you can to remain nondescript while also like checking for windows, points of entry. You see the most remarkable thing that you find is that this bank does not have any other exit points besides the windows and the front door. It looks like at some point it was in violation of some sort of fire code. And they just have never renovated it to bring it back in line.
So only the front side.
Correct. Yeah. It does have windows, like full wall, not full wall windows, but like whole tall windows, scattered throughout either the west and east sides of the buildings. On the west side, you can see what looks like a conference room on the other side. It's raised up probably like a couple feet in the air for like a foundation, but you can see that there's a conference room on the inside. And on the east side, you see a what looks like an employee break room of some kind. A couple of like couches, a small bar table, and that's closer to the front. Then there's like about halfway through the east side, there's no more windows that come through. And on the back side, there is only like high top, very slim windows that are just there to give a little bit of natural light to the inside of the hallway, but you can't make your vision through them whatsoever. And from what you gather, you detect that it is probably only one story.
One story, conference room west side, east side, break room, and suspiciously missing windows. And
Correct.
what was the last thing again? Sorry, it kind of...
The backside has just the high windows, so it's just illuminating a hallway, essentially.
So is it, yeah, so it's just like a little like kind of slit
Yep.
window as opposed to like
Business in the front, party in the back. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. I will relay this information.
Cool.
That I don't want to repeat.
Okay, cool. Strom, which drones are you deploying?
I'm going to deploy my ant on Erskine, and then I'm gonna deploy my Arachne, my spider bot, on the outside of the building to get some recon.
Okay, cool. On the outside of the bank building or on the outside of one of the apartment buildings?
The bank building.
Okay, cool. So
Spider-bot.
Just so you know, they have a lot of like recon on them. So I
Yes,
think they both have
noticed.
like cameras, they have mat systems so they can detect weapons, and they have
You can
motion
smell your
sensors.
fears.
They do have olfactory sensors. They have omnidirectional microphones. They have radio signal scanners, as well as they both have ultrasound.
yes.
Is your spider bot the size of a spider, or is it massive?
It's a little bit bigger. It's not
It's
the
big.
size of an actual spider, but it's like a medium-sized robot, like a cat, a baby,
It's like a
if you
cat spider robot crawling up the
Yeah.
side of a bank. I should point out that there are cameras dotting
I was
around
gonna
the side of
say.
the building.
will. But they have radio signal scanners, so they can jam radio signals.
Wait, so should we wait until I like hack? Because I could, in theory, like try and turn off the cameras, and then you could run up the building.
That would make
Everybody's
sense.
so hacky. We could all do it at once.
Maybe.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Because
Well, and
otherwise
if
we're
we
blatantly casing the joint.
we only turn off the cameras for,
Well,
like
hey, boss, there's a cyborg walking around outside and a spider robot crawling up our walls. I
long
think something might be happening.
get up the building. Because if we only turn off the cameras for like a small amount of time, then like that's less likely to draw attention to the fact that the
Well, you
cameras
might
were
be able to
turned
just set them on a loop.
Loop the feed.
Yeah.
off.
Mm.
Ooh, that's a good idea too.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't seem aberrant if they're watching the cameras. It just seems like
That's true.
nothing's going on.
I
Yeah,
might loop the
no.
feed and then yeah, cool.
That's smart. Yes. I will wait to deploy my arachne, but I still want to give my little ant to Erskine,
Little ant.
so he can get on the inside of the building.
You
Yeah.
loop the feed of
Ant-Man.
Keaton walking down the alleyway, so it's just this cyborg walking
Yeah, in
the
a loop.
same
I
lap.
was
was
thinking about
walking
it.
down the alleyway, just do like
Yeah, snapping down.
Cool. Okay.
Can I also just say it would be also really useful if we could have like, I don't know how much is going to be available in the hacking, but if we can have like the guard switchovers as well,
Oh,
as in
like the
how many guards is going to be there at night versus day, so a rota for the
Schedule.
week. Yeah, and then we'd be able to like predict the best time where it's going to be the quietest, where we can
So
make our heights.
blueprint and shift schedule.
Blueprint, shift schedule, and cameras. Yeah.
That's a lot, though.
Can you
to
just
not-
do that real quick?
It
I just did 4 things.
And the thing, I think the blueprint and the cameras are more of a priority than the shift schedule.
Mhm.
But it's like, I suppose it depends on like how well it's going
Yeah.
in the hack. My character doesn't know that though, because he is allergic to hacking. So
The longer she's in there, the more of a chance it is that they're gonna sense
get caught.
she's hacking.
Yeah.
So.
Mm.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
But
I'll do what I can, love.
blueprint at
And I
least.
kind of wink at you.
In
Nice.
that case, I will bring you guys into the bank.
Oh, bank time.
Ba, ba, ba.
Ooh.
So, you guys are at the front of the bank inside the main lobby. Can you guys see the Roll20?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm also watching our stream because I'm a nerd.
Nice. Awesome. So you should, so Venya, this little icon on your character token means you're there in cyberspace. So you're not actually there physically, but your persona has entered into the building.
Girl, you're there emotionally.
Exactly. All right, cool. So immediately as you enter Erskine, you see that there are 3 armed guards. Looks like they have pistols on their hips, holstered at the moment. But they wear the corporate security uniform of Ginny Incorporated.
I should, for disclosure, I should say I've gone in unarmed and
Correct.
unarmed.
Perfect.
Ew, you're naked?
You
kidding.
Nikki.
He's wearing his finest
clothes.
suit.
No, I'm wearing my business suit. Yeah, I look professional.
Okay, cool. You do
He's a
see
businessman.
I am a businessman.
Yeah.
it's pretty slow at the moment. Around over here-ish, you can see that there's one what looks like orc woman talking to one of the tellers, and it looks like the only other teller available is on the left side of the room over here. So there's only those 2 tellers at the moment. Venya, for your part, as soon as you enter the host, you do begin to feel like the cyber security suite like have eyes on your persona, essentially. For the moment, it seems to be assuming that you're the persona of Erskine, and that you're part of his like digital suite, essentially. This
Ooh.
little fly looking program right here is a patrol program, essentially. Give me a grid knowledge check. So whatever your grid skill is, pool, I think.
Pretty.
You're muted.
Muted.
I'm unprofessional.
Is it in skills? Because I see hacking.
Knowledge should be your knowledge skills.
Got it. Knowledge skills. Oh, grid. I have a pool of 12.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and roll those 12 modified by your mental limit, which I think is like 8 or something.
What does that mean?
So up near the top, it'll be like your physical limit, mental limit, social limit. I don't know where it is specifically on your sheet. I have 8 for you.
Great. So do I roll just 8?
No, so you're rolling the 12, but you're limited by the amount of successes of 8. So that max you can get is 8.
Got it. Okay. Um. Okay. It looks like 5 hits.
5 hits, nice. So you recognize this. This is it's called an IC for intrusion countermeasure. And this one in particular is a patrol program. It scours the lobby, essentially looking for any signs of illegal activity. So as soon as you enter, it like scans you up and down. Doesn't seem to detect anything illegal going on, and then moves on to, looks like one of the security guards, and scans him, looks for anything illegal, and then continues on, checking each of the icons in the room.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
So is it kind of like it doesn't really do anything unless it perceives someone as a threat?
Exactly. If it perceives anything illegal, then you would know that it immediately reports it to the host's like main security suite. Yeah,
I am in sleaze mode, by the way.
correct.
Cool.
I'm in sleeveless mode right now to match
Nice.
Malik.
Very nice. Okay, so you guys are on the inside. What would you like to do?
The inside of the bank, are those like statues?
Correct.
Top right, top left?
Yep.
Is it quite like ornate and like marble and
It is,
sort of
they are
well-
made of marble. Yep, and it seems to be depictions of looks like an ancient elven king of some descript.
Okay. Erskine would like to be a little bit of that guy.
Oh my
By
god.
sort of by walking in and going, "Oh, this place is beautiful," and sort of commenting to the security guards, "It's a lovely place you've got here. Look at these floors. It's gorgeous. It's not the kind of place I've been to in quite some time. Never been in here before." And just like loudly dialoguing.
He's like, don't worry, my friends are Elven.
But it's sort of the kind of person everybody go, "Oh, this fucking guy," and I'd like to sort of meander my way to one of the tellers and sort of loudly proclaim, "Hello, love. I'd love to make a deposit."
Okay, great. Cool. So you head over to the teller. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Indoscream. Thanks for the chat. Welcome.
Welcome.
Steve!
It's our
That's my
first
friend
time-
Steve who loves Shadowrun.
Oh, awesome. Hey, it's our first time playing, so please be very kind and gentle with us. Awesome.
Or rough and hard, whatever you'd prefer.
So you're going up to
Ew.
the teller and you're making a bit of a scene. The guards definitely notice you and sort of like take attention, but it's also like this is just a typical day in their 9 to 5. They're not really noticing anything out of the ordinary besides somebody making a bit of a fool of themselves.
Would you like a bit of a performance check?
Sure.
Touch of the sillies. And the stupid sexy ghost.
4 successes.
4 successes. Nice. So yeah, you definitely draw the attention of pretty much everyone in the room. Yeah. Cool. Venya, while he's going up to the teller, what are you up to?
I think I'd like to prioritize cutting the cameras outside first.
Okay, cool. So in order to do that, you'll have to make your way towards essentially the server room of the bank.
Is that the same place where like blueprints would be?
Exactly.
Great. Then that's where I'm going anyway.
Okay, cool.
It servers the same purpose.
Joke.
Go ahead. I think.
Get out.
Let me double check your skills really quick.
I'm gonna get hacked out of the chat.
I have a hacking skill.
Yes. Yeah, sure. Give me a hacking skill check. We'll play with that for now.
If I press on that button, did it do it
I think so.
in?
Yes, it did. Yep, you got 4 successes. Awesome.
Nice.
Cool. So you're able to successfully identify where in the building the actual server room is. So what you detect is that if you're looking at roll 20, the actual server room is right about where Coyote noticed a missing windows on the eastern side of the building. So in order to actually get there, you'll need a hard physical connection in order to like physically disable some systems. You could probably go there and actually download the files for like the blueprints. But in order to actually disable the cameras, you're gonna have to have someone there and like physically jack into the thing so you can data link to it.
Hey boss, might have a job for you. And I'm pinging my inside man.
Cool. Erskine, you get a ping and you see it come up sort of on your comp link in AR as a bit into the building itself past this employee area is Venya's ping where the server room is. Venya, for your part, you can begin heading in. Go ahead and give me, I want to say, like a sleaze roll to try and avoid the detection of the patrol ice as you head in.
When you roll, you gotta say sleazy does it.
Does this mean that I can jack in, and then Venya can use me as like a conduit?
Exactly. Yep.
As long as you don't jack
Ooh.
off, we'll be okay.
Oh. I'll
Welcome
just
to
make
the
sure.
stream, everyone. Welcome to our PG stream.
Yeah,
I'm just here to hide and make jokes.
I just think if we're in any danger, I'll just make sure I'll have to pull out in time. It'll be fine.
We pressed roll sleaze, but it didn't do it.
You got a compliment
What
from
color humor for that?
Indoscream, Sadie. I don't know if you saw.
Working while waking up investigation. Oh, thank you.
It's
Doing
a
my
big
best.
deal. Shadowrun is his life.
Oh wow, that's awesome. High praise.
Like, we play D&D weekly, but his true heart belongs to Shadowrun.
That's great.
Thank you,
Um,
Windows Screen. Very kind.
I'm trying to roll sleaze, but it doesn't let me just like press the button. I have 6 sleaze, so do I just roll 6?
Yes. Yep. Go ahead and do that.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, when you said roll sleaze, I thought that was a joke.
That's 3 hits.
3 hits. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have.
I was like, haha, roll sleaze, haha.
I'm going
Little did you know.
to have him roll to see if he perceives you heading inside.
What is it that counters sleaze? Is it perv?
I think it's called grid perception. Perv. Nice. Very good. I didn't
Get your
notice.
perv on.
We're having a lot of fun today.
We are. I actually am having a lot of fun. I want to tell you guys that now.
We have fun here. We have fun.
What did you get, Venya?
3.
Okay, cool. The patrol IC does notice you start heading towards the back room, and it comes over and says, "Attention, please, unauthorized persona, do not enter the employee restricted area."
Do I know this is happening?
No, this is happening in virtual reality. You can't even see the program.
Do
Okay.
you have a fake ID or anything? Like,
I'm
not our fake ID, but like, did you fake an employee ID? Maybe, perhaps?
It doesn't seem to be like digitally restraining your persona in any way. It just seems to be offering you a warning at the time.
Okay.
Tell it to fuck off.
Fuck the
Can I just wait for it to like leave and then proceed anyway? Or is that a horrible idea?
You could do that. I would say you're at disadvantage since the patrol has already sort of noticed you.
Shit.
It's done what it's called placing a mark on you. It's like it's noticed you. It's placed essentially like a tracking beacon on you, so it knows where your persona is going.
Or she could be like, oh
Okay.
man, I left my card at home. Beep boop beep, here's the code.
There's no way for me to get rid of that tracking beacon.
You can. Yeah, there's a couple of actions you can do actually.
Okay, I would like to do that.
How much meta gaming are we allowing here?
I'll allow a fair bit since we're all learning the system.
A healthy amount.
A healthy amount of metagaming.
Because my thought is, if Erskine needs to physically plug in anyway, Erskine needs to physically get into the back office, and Benya could just sort of go along for the ride, as it were, along with the physical being, right? And then it wouldn't be flagged up, because if the employees are showing me through to the back,
You could like get me a connection, and then I wouldn't have to bring my persona in. It would just be like, right?
Sorry.
If JD was able to get in there, I wouldn't have to get my persona in because he could just like get me a
Correct.
direct connection.
Exactly. But that would mean that JD would have to make his way into the employee area.
I'd like to apply for a job.
Meanwhile, so we'll say while that's going on, Erskine, what are you up to? You've probably been made aware of this stuff happening through like your comlink, but you can't see it directly happening.
no, it's fine. But I have been sort of pinged as to that needing to get that hardline plug-in.
Exactly.
So I'd like to say to the teller, hello there. I'd like to open an account here with Apex Holdings. I've heard very good things about it, and I've come into some large inheritance to the tune of several tens of thousands of credits. Obviously, this kind of amount in a transaction would be quite lucrative for me, but I need to make sure that my transaction and my credits are safe. I was wondering if you'd be gracious enough to give me a tour of the facility.
Go ahead and make a deception roll.
Ooh.
If you make this, you got the fucking Riz. He just says, could you just let me in?
Or you're gonna bite his lip and go,
Just let me the fuck in.
That's his name. Am I supposed to be actively doing anything with my drone right now?
Not at the moment.
Okay,
Unless
good.
you want to, do you want to be? Do you want to start moving the ant?
I feel like it's like initiative, but not.
Yes.
You all have it at the same time, but like not.
Yeah.
I don't think there is deception. I think it just all comes under negotiation.
Oh, is that true?
I can't see deception in skills.
Depends on how much you lying. Are you truthing?
You truthing?
You're truthing about the sum, but not about why you're doing it.
Oh, it's con. It's the con skill. Sorry. I'm not used to.
Oh, like con, not constitution. Okay.
Yes, correct.
I was like, damn. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see.
I'm not used to the Shadowrun.
Yeah, it's just
What
terminology.
kind?
That's the thing. Okay.
And they have a conversation.
4 successes.
4 successes. The teller that you're talking to says, well, typically we don't allow customers into our employee area, but I'll tell you what I can do. I can go and get the manager and see if he'll allow it this time.
Of course. I'll happily have a chat with him. I'd like to meet him anyway to make sure that my credits are going to be safe in this illustrious establishment.
Of course. Yeah, of course. That's a very good sleeping cat. Cool. Strom, while this is going on, do you want to be moving your ant?
Sorry, my cat just drooled all over me.
Gross.
That's amazing.
I think while he's having this conversation with the teller, I have my aunt kind of move off of him and start to move towards the direction of wherever this teller is going to go, where the manager is, to kind of sneak around the building
Okay,
and
cool.
get through the door that way.
Why don't we
Well,
bring
that's
the ants
that's
in?
another thought. Can the drones jack in and be used as a conduit for hacking instead?
Probably not the micro ones.
No.
But I would imagine some of the bigger ones probably could.
Could other people jump into my drones? Like, they would need
If they
the
have the
skills
rig
for that,
runner
right?
command
Yeah.
console, yeah. Okay, cool. So there's the ant.
Since I'm related to a rigger and I'm a technomancer, I can't even look in the leak when I say that.
Yes, and
Um,
it's Riga, thank you.
No,
and-
no.
I'm not doing that.
House ruled rig runner.
Yes, since I'm related to
We
a-
did it on stream.
I forgot what we changed it to.
Rig runner.
Rig runner. And I can technomance. Is there any way I can? But I feel like I'd be hacking in and I'd mess up his stuff, right?
You
Like
better
the same
not.
concept where
You
like
break
we
it-
shouldn't hack our friends' stuff, but we should only hack other people's
Yeah.
stuff.
You break it, you buy it.
We did it live in
Make
front of 12 people.
We did do it
Mhm.
live, and now they
Mhm.
know.
No.
Now it's in chat.
This
They know
chat
we
is
changed the
cursed.
Fine. Start. Just honestly, just
No.
just move on. Just move
So
on.
the
and it didn't happen. It will be fine.
the ant begins crawling along the floor, moving pretty quickly,
Mhm.
way faster than an ant would normally be able to, following the teller, and we will say making his way into the next area.
Making my way.
Go ahead and give me a, I want to say like it's pretty small, like a piloting check for it. You're controlling it directly, correctly? Correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
great.
It's not
So
its
give me
size, it's execution.
a
Directly,
like
directly.
I want to say a logic plus piloting walker test for me. So it's rating of your
So
pilot
that would
walker
be
skill.
5 plus 2.
Yeah.
So 7.
And it's going to be opposed by them trying to see if they notice your tiny drone heading inside.
We got 2 hits.
Okay, cool. Let's see.
It's not about the size; it's about how you use it.
Mm-hmm.
I say as a lesbian.
Wait, or could I do this as well? No, I
It can apply.
can't. Yeah.
This means you're more
What,
used to
finger
drones.
length?
Fine.
Cool.
I mean, among other things.
Oh.
Do
They
we
do
really
not
want to get into this
seem-
chat?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
to,
just kidding.
to be like,
You
I
have
was
to
about to say
Google on
something,
their
but I
own.
had to restrain myself.
They do not seem to notice the ant on its way inside the back building.
Yeah, boy.
So
The
that-
bot says that, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
As he goes to the door, he's just, yeah, we in.
So the ant is able to make its way into the restricted section here. And you can see back behind it looks like a mostly like bank staff work area, essentially. Lots of desks. Most of these desks are inhabited by people, different analysts or like bank clerk staff, stuff like that. The bank teller in particular goes over to this door down here and knocks on it. And after a few seconds, it gets opened up. Rook, you had something?
Who is his robot sharing vision with on Roll20?
Everybody, but
Okay, because I only see like this.
Yeah, same.
thank you for correcting that. Let me see. Oh yeah. never
Ooh,
mind.
now we all can see. That's so exciting. Oh my god. I love technology.
There.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
great. Cool. After a moment, the and actually inside this room you see another security guard posted up here, and one is stationed at the desk here. After a moment, a tall, bald human man comes out of that office, and he's wearing like a very finely put together suit. It's like all black with like some pinstriped white stripes. And he comes over and starts walking with the teller back towards the desk. The ant, for its part, makes its way over to here. Eventually, the teller comes back with the manager. And teller says, I'm sorry, I totally forgot. What was your name again?
Erskine. Erskine, lovely to meet you.
Erskine. And she says, well, this is our new manager, Oleg. And he is happy to walk you through some of the services that our bank provides. Says, thank you so much, Nikki. Would you mind going and checking on Clara in the back, please? She says, of course. And she heads back towards the employee area.
Be like, you didn't give me a fucking task to do, manager. What do you want me to check on?
He says, Mr. Erskine, I'm happy to walk you through the detailed security procedures of Apex Holdings, but I'm afraid
lead on. Walk me through the building. That'd be lovely.
I'm afraid we can't offer tours of any sensitive areas. I'm happy to let you inspect our employee work area if you'd like, and perhaps give you a small glimpse of our security area, but
how could I be assured that my credits will be safe if I can't inspect the safety of my credits?
Well,
if
because we don't simply allow anyone to walk in off the street and inspect our security status.
I believe
you can understand if I allowed you this privilege that would defeat the purpose of assuring you that our security is airtight.
Like a very
Don't we want to get in the employee area anyway?
But I'm happy to walk you through into our employee area and introduce you to one of our security guards. Hopefully that will assure you that your credits are well secure here.
I think that's what we need.
Please show me what you can, and I'll see if it assures me enough that my credits are safe.
Cool. And you see him, like, his comlink seems to flare up for a second. Venia, at that exact moment, you notice that the patrol IC seems to be momentarily disabled as Erskine heads into the back.
I'm in, boys. I'm in. I'm swimming.
Yes, swimming. Swimming through code.
In the comm, I'm like, Erskine, I love you. I love you.
Cool. As it seems to still be assuming that you are part of Erskine's cyber suite. Okay, cool. So you're back there, and Oleg walks you through, and he introduces you to a couple of people, including the security guard that stands outside of his office. And this is Mark. Mark is my personal bodyguard. He is graduated top of his class from our security training. He has been by my side for a number of years now, even with this transfer to this new branch.
Keep talking. Just like stall. I'm like, please stall. And I'm trying to turn off the camera. I'm trying to loop the cameras, and I'm trying to get the blueprints while this is happening.
So you start making your way over towards that server room that you saw. And you see that it is held up behind this door, but since you're a cyber creature, it doesn't make much of a difference to you. So let me go ahead and
like D&D, where you're trying to open a door for like 3 hours.
I would like to use cyber lockpicks.
So you see on the inside of this room over here is what appears to be the armory for the different security forces. You see weapon lockers, equipment lockers, a bunch of different crates that have some nondescript items in them, no sort of labels on them or anything like that. And just a little bit further south is the actual server room. So you make your way into there. Making sure I line up the camera correctly.
I don't want to spend a ton of time on this because obviously, like, there's other priorities. do I notice anything as I'm like anything of note as I'm just like going through that area?
Give me a. I want to say like a. What? How do you make a grid perception test?
Investigation check or something.
It's different
There's
for being in cyberspace. Okay, so it's your computer skill plus your intuition.
Dakota.
What's that?
I don't think vision is being shared once again.
Damn it.
I have
Thank you for calling that.
2 in my computer skill, and then I have 5 into so 7.
Better?
Yes.
Let me roll.
Thank you.
It's a 1.
Okay, cool. So
One
nothing strikes you as being super out of the ordinary. It doesn't seem like this host has any other IC in use at the moment. That patrol program seems to be their like first line of cyber defense. Once you're on the inside of the server room, however, you do see that there's like the equivalent of like a bunch of different clone vats of different programs that are like waiting to be deployed in the event of a digital attack on the building. So once this like host gets alerted, it has some extremely powerful cyber combat tools available.
Just gonna make note of that.
Cool.
I'm stealthing. Ooh. I'm being very quiet.
In the meantime, why don't you go ahead and make a you're trying to grab a file, which I think is crack a file. Perfect. Go ahead and give me a hacking plus logic skill. And the host is going to make an opposed test.
So, 9. Oh. Uh, 5.
How much?
5 hits.
5 hits. Okay, great. So you are able to grab the blueprints for the building, and you upload those to the rest of the team. So I'm going to go ahead and reveal the map to everybody.
Yay! Success.
Climb to the top of that
Just-
tower.
The step in the right direction, right?
We're running up that hill.
Running up that really fucking tall building.
Did that reveal it for everybody? No, didn't worry.
If only. Dakota told me I wasn't allowed to have fun.
Where the fuck? Why is this not working?
No, he just said that your fun would be punished.
That's the same thing.
All right, hold on. I'm just gonna move Venya into each of these rooms then.
Part of me wants to like yeet out of there just because I
Thank
saw
you.
those cyberbots, but part of me is like, I still need to loop the cameras. Ha!
You do see that there's a door down here at the bottom, which appears to lead towards the vault. There's like a turret set up at the end of the hallway down here, as well as like 2 different cameras set up in the top corners of it. But the blueprints do not include any of the actual room layout beneath this.
What is this?
That's a
little
window.
symbol? Okay, so there's
So-
a window in the hallway.
Yes, exactly. So from this office, you could see that there's a window that looks into the hallway leading towards the vault.
Cool.
I'm gonna go ahead and reclose all of these doors. Right.
Can I try and loop the cameras while I'm in here? and maybe find a schedule if that is also
So in order
possible.
to actually interact with the cameras, you would have to have like some sort of hard data uplink to the server, which you don't have at the moment.
I'm
What
working
was the
on
other
it.
thing?
Can I get schedules?
Sure. Yeah, give me the same check you just made. It was, I think.
It's not gonna be as good.
He's like, well, Bob clocks in at 3.
Do you think those toilets in the top left have bidets installed?
At a bank?
Oh,
You never know.
3 hits.
I don't know.
That's right.
It's the future.
Can I
Let's hack the bidet.
non-verbally communicate with people through the comlink? Or do I need to
I think it has to
verbalize?
be verbal.
Okay.
I think.
We love verbal.
Let me check.
I'm trying to like give Erskine I'm like, mention salad if you're okay, you know, or like,
Cool.
because he's talking to this guy.
So- and Erskine is just like in the middle of like a boring conversation about like fucking the bank security, and you're
He's
just
like, so do you
constantly
have
like
a Rolf IRA?
cauliflower. Stay cauliflower if you don't like what's happening currently, but you're not in danger.
Say, rig runner if you can get me a physical connection to the server.
Oh my god.
That would be
Um,
terrible. They'd be like, why'd you say that?
Yeah. Say you're hacking into the building if you need me to hack into the building.
Say I'm a criminal.
Safe word is Jenga.
What the fuck?
I do actually have several questions for like full conversation if you need it.
Will do.
Of-
Give me just a
Of
second.
what I'm
In
talking
case
to
you
them
guys
about.
didn't know, JD was an actor.
Um,
He knows this character in and out.
as you are trying to crack the guard schedule, you do find that as you're doing it, something about the way that you attempt to break the encryption draws the attention of the host, and the patrol IC is summoned to attention. So you notice that like you spring essentially a silent alarm, and that the patrol IC is on its way towards you.
Silent alarm activated. Silent alarm activated.
I may have done a bad.
Any other Simpson fans?
I'm saying
And that's
Cool.
to Erskine.
In the meantime, what is the ant doing?
I want to listen on the other side of this wall to see if there's anyone there or what's being talked about.
Okay, cool. It doesn't seem.
Oh, this wall. Yeah, I guess
the
I gotta
conference one?
notify.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like there's anybody on the inside of that at the moment.
Great. Then I want to move across this wall, I guess, as
Okay.
far as I can, just to like get down to this wall.
Cool. You do that.
The ant has activated kill.
Unfortunately, there's absolutely nothing on this robot. Is that the end of my turn? Or can I
You
do
could
more?
do another thing. I mean, we're in like a loosey-goosey non-combat.
Okay, bad. Then I want to listen on the other side of this as well.
Okay, cool. You do know, you do hear like sort of like the muffled grumbles of like of another security guard sitting at, now that you have the blueprints, this desk right here.
Bad.
Does seem to be someone there.
Then I think I'm gonna relay that information to everyone.
Cool.
I think that's it.
Cool. Okay, great. Erskine, what are you up to while this is going on?
So Erskine essentially is doing his job of keeping them talking. So he says, "Oh, Oleg, do you mind if I ask Mark here a few questions about his job? As you said, bodyguard. Is that also like a de facto head of security here as well?"
Oleg kind of like nods his head to Mark as saying like, play along. Mark says, yes, I am the sort of the head of security here.
Fantastic, perfect, exactly the man I wanted to have a word with. Obviously, I'm planning to make a large deposit here in this bank, and I want to make sure my credits are as safe as possible. Obviously, we live in a very dangerous world at the moment. There's a lot of threats, both physically and on digital space as well. I speak about digital space as if it's like this spooky kind of thing that I don't understand in that kind of way, which is not far from the truth, so it's not really a lie for my character. I said, obviously, in terms of the physical dangers around here, is obviously occasionally banks do get a little bit knocked off, if you know what I mean. I've noticed that your guards around here are carrying. Now, what are the guards carrying?
Most of the guards that you've seen are carrying pistols. Mark, however, is carrying what looks like a submachine gun strapped across his back.
I said, most of the guards around here seem to be carrying just a few pistols, aside from yourself, of course, a little bit more prepared, which is what I like to see. But what if somebody rolls up here with some explosives or something like a tank on the outside of the building? Are you prepared for those kinds of eventualities?
Make a persuasion check.
Are you prepared to defend yourself as a sovereign nation?
He's just going, that's
Will
not
you
a
die
knife.
to protect my money?
This
Pretty
is
much.
a knife.
The whole time.
4 successes.
4 successes. Well, we do have an armory of sorts for the security personnel here, as is common with most Ginny Incorporated financial holdings at this point. Rest assured, if any of these, let's call them ruffians, try to make their way inside the vault and steal whatever is inside of there, including your assets, we have very many ways to deal with them to the fullest extent of what the law allows.
Sort of clap Oleg on the back of his shoulder and sort of, see, this is fantastic. This is exactly what I wanted to hear. Heavy weapons, just to make sure my credits are safe. That you lot are very well prepared here, and sort of mildly condescending, but in a positive way. I was like, oh, what about at night though? I've only seen 1, 2, like 4 guards here. It's not a lot of manpower for a building such as this. Obviously, not counting that I know that there are other guards here.
Yep.
I've only seen this many. Surely you
Just
need an
tiptoeing.
army to prevent this from being stalled. And some kind of mess hall to feed all this lot with not just salad, but lots of proteins and whatnot as well. See, I kept the salad in there just so that Benya knows that I'm okay.
Coyote, you had your hand raised.
What's the status on the outside of the building at this point with the possible detection on the inside?
You do see that the cameras, which are on these kind of swivel mounts, have begun to scan around the immediate outskirts of the building, looking for, you would assume, intruders of some kind.
Mm.
It's detected a breach of security, and now the cybersecurity suite is trying to figure out what the nature of that intrusion is.
This conversation, or sorry, go ahead.
You go ahead. I was just gonna say, would I be able to try and find a blind spot, or what I think is a blind spot, without any sort of tech?
Sure. Give me another perception test.
That's my bad skill.
Is there another skill that you would prefer?
Let me see. I don't think so, because most of my stuff
Unarmed
is physical,
combat.
so I'll use my archery skill.
Okay, great.
Perception is just 4, so
He is still taking aim. It's just through the sight of his bow.
what if it's my could I use my sneaking? I'm very sneaky.
Sure. I'll let you do that. I'll allow that.
Or could I make a perception check to see if I find one, and then I'll try to sneak in there?
But no, I'll allow a sneaking check for it. You're essentially looking for a place to hide and then attempting to hide in it. I don't think that needs to be 2.
Jesus.
This
Jade is just eating
conversation-
her steak and keeping an eye out.
Conversation that Erskine is having is reminding me of San Francisco a few months ago, where they were like, well, the only way to deal with a bomb threat is to have a robot with a bigger bomb.
So true.
Yep.
So out of 10 dice, I got 1 hit.
Wow.
Rip. Rip.
Unfortunately, you're unable to find like a blind spot in how the cameras rotate. They have pretty good surround coverage of the immediate grounds. As you're noticing, though, a lot of these cameras have been placed on like an overhang of the roof, just above the walls, which means that much like your previous line of Inquisition, it does leave their airspace what is the word? Secured. They don't have any sort of like surveillance equipment that you can see on top of the roof.
They can't look up.
Yeah. But that does mean that they do sort of like mark your figure as you quickly duck out of the alley outside of the building. I assume you're not going to stand there waiting for the cameras to find you,
No.
but they do sort of like catch you on your way out. At least you assume so. All right, we're right there. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick 15-minute break. So go use the bathroom, go grab a snack, grab some water, whatever you want, and then we'll be right back in about 15 minutes at 11:15. We'll see you soon.
Woo!
Hello,
my-
everyone,
my
and welcome back to Ride or Dice.
Yeah.
I knew it would happen. I knew. Don't
Forcing the
worry.
conversation.
Yep. All
You're
right.
back like Robin Loxley.
Exactly. Exactly. So when we left off, Venya had tripped some sort of security feature inside the host of the bank. Erskine was talking to the new manager of the branch, Oleg, and his personal bodyguard slash chief of security, Mark, while Strom had deployed an ant micro drone on the inside of the bank building. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and keep things rolling along here. Erskine, what was your question to Oleg again?
I'd asked him about the defense of the bank, and he confirmed that they had an armory, and I was praising them for the police and that, and I was about to move it on to, yes, but there's also threats from cyberspace as well. What kind of defenses do you have there?
He's like, well, to be quite honest, I don't understand much of our cybersecurity suite, but Ginny Incorporated has some of the best programmers in New Paragon City on their payroll, and I have to believe that they've outfitted this place with a number of countermeasures towards any sort of digital attack.
So you haven't got somebody monitoring those? Are they just running by themselves?
Make a persuasion check.
This man hires
getting
an
so-
entire
so
team of
iffy.
independent programmers to come in and check like the cybersecurity
Just 3
of
gnomes in a
Omega
trench
Corp.
coat.
I think you need to ask Mark about his sex life.
I got 9 successes, but obviously my social limit is 8, so
Wow.
8
Only 8.
only.
He's gotta tell you about his sex life.
Do you wear women's underwear?
Well, we do have a reformed cybersecurity specialist who has come in here and installed a couple of, let's say, nasty programs to deter any would-be hackers. He doesn't work on site most days, but he does come in every week or so to inspect the programs, inspect any security reports.
Excellent, excellent. And what about at night time? I was saying about how there's only a couple of guards here, and that I've seen so far, and then yourself, of course. It doesn't seem like a lot of bodies to be protecting such a large building.
We have a dozen or so security guards on site at any one point. And that usually we usually add on a few extra at nightfall. Add into that the fact that we have some of the more elite members of Ginny Incorporated on a panic button available whenever we detect any sort of cyber attack or physical attack.
I'd assume they'd have quite a good response time.
Fairly well.
How quickly could they get here if something does hit the fan?
I hope you understand I'm not allowed by corporate policy to tell you the specific time.
Of course, that makes complete sense.
Rest assured, it's quite quick.
Also notice you've got a lot of windows in this place, so surely that would be a bit of a weakness.
Mr. Erskine, I think our time might be better suited if we talk about the nature of the account that you'd like to open with us and perhaps the measure of safe deposit box you'd like to purchase.
You got a lot of good info, though, bro. You got a lot of good info. I wrote it all down.
I'm trying so hard.
Are we aware that Venya has tripped this alarm?
I think Venya has probably alerted you to it.
Okay.
And at this time, the patrol drone does actually come into the server room to investigate Venya. So let me actually move.
Whilst this is going on, I'd actually like to open an account and deposit the 40,000, which is my advance of the credits, in an actual account.
Okay.
Nice.
Awesome.
You're gonna lose out on all this
interest once we steal from this company.
Mm-hmm.
Super funny if you like stole everything and then deposited that exact amount into your new account.
Yeah.
It'd be like, don't be suspicious. Don't be
Don't
suspicious.
be suspicious.
Well, I'm thinking more that we sort of break into the place, steal what we can from the vault, which is not where my money would be held. But then I can waltz back into the place and say, "Oh, well, you got knocked over. My money isn't safe here," and then take my money and then clear out my account and leave.
I would call
not work
them
out that
after
way,
it
but-
happens first to be
Oh.
like, I thought you
Oh,
said
yeah.
this would be safe, and then come in
Absolutely.
and be like, I'd like to remove my stuff now.
A mere days after I asked you
Yeah.
relentless questions exhaustively about your security measures, you get robbed?
So,
How
so
You
if
mean
dare
you
there's a
didn't
you.
step it
vault-
up because of my
So there's a-
questions?
If there's
Pro-
a vault, does that mean the credits are actual like physical credits, like cash, and not just
No,
the
it'd be digital
Most
currency and everything.
Most of the vault storage, you would assume, based off of like popular media at the time, involved vaults filled with cred sticks.
Yeah,
So-
cred sticks.
So it's literally
like gold
just
bricks
like,
of old.
Yeah, we've got 20,000 on this cred
Doubloons.
stick. It's like, wouldn't you just
Yes.
have an infinite amount on your cred? Not an infinite amount, but like, wouldn't your cred stick just hold an infinite amount?
I don't think
haven't-
so.
Yeah, there's like 4 different tiers of cred sticks, and they can only hold a certain amount on them. And the cred sticks, larger tiers, costs more money. It's kind of like having storage, like external hard drives that store your money, your Bitcoin on them, if you like. And so the higher value of storage of these external cred sticks costs more to buy the actual device.
I got 5
question.
terabytes right
Mm.
here.
If you want to have more money on it. Well, it makes sense if like digital currency is actually taking up a large amount of storage space.
Mhm.
A cred stick needs to have the capacity to store that digital currency within
It's
it.
just a number.
Is he facing
It
us
has
right now?
no meaning
Are we being
until
faced?
we give
It's
it.
like if you
It's
were
blockchain.
to steal a
It's all
cash box out of
blockchain
an ATM.
credits.
Mm.
So in the
the
vault
same
is actually a ton of GPUs.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Exactly. The graphics card industry has not gotten any better in the past 100 years.
Stacks of RTX 3090s.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And they
Right.
still
Now it
cost a
makes
ton.
sense. That's what's in the vault. Mm.
I'm a little confused with I'm hot, not cold in the
Are you
So
hot
I'm
or are you cold?
okay.
If you're warm,
hacking.
you can get rid
You
of the
yes,
cat, and you
or
might
you
cool
I'm
no?
down a
hot
little bit.
hacking.
Are you in or are you out?
The cat looks so cute.
Am I supposed to be like rolling with advantage, or like how does that work? Because I
It
have
means
not been doing.
you're quicker. Yeah, you get. Sorry, you're supposed to get. No, actually, I don't think you do. I think it's when you're in cold sim, you get a -2 to all dice pool actions. So it's not that you're quicker; it's that you're slower in cold sim.
You're playing it too safe. You're like slowly hacking.
Yes.
Hot
Okay.
is like, we got this.
Okay.
Cracks knuckles.
In the meantime, the the patrol IC comes into the server room with you and says, it like issues out a message to your persona. Unauthorized access. This is a restricted area.
No, it is not.
Incredible.
Just try it. Be like, or I like try to tell it like I belong here. Or something.
Okay,
Alright, Dakota, you want us to roll for initiative?
cool. It does place another mark on you for being here. You can try and convince it otherwise.
I mean, did you get
Can I
everything
do
other
that?
than the cameras? You could just be like, okay, bye.
Do we need the cameras?
At this point, you got everything. So.
It would have been nice, but you need one of us to have a hard line in to do the cameras, which
Yeah.
I'm not managing to talk my way in there.
Then I'm
Yeah,
just
That
gonna
isn't
be like,
really
Yeah,
gonna
just
happen.
leave.
You
can I
can
just
you
leave
can
and then
peace
be
out,
like,
yeah.
oops? And then, is there something I can do after I leave to like remove the markers?
Yeah. Once you leave the
Okay.
host, all of the marks that it puts on you are gone.
Great. I'm just gonna exit the host.
Skedaddle. Just
Get back
fucking
to the van,
skedaddle.
girl.
So you
Wow.
deactivate your persona and head back to like your physical body in the van.
I shrink. I shrink.
Glasses back on, hair up.
Yeah,
It just goes
that.
ooh, and then like phases through the wall back to the van.
I think what
Jade's
it is
finishing off
that
the last of her steak.
your body
good, you're
cannot
back.
handle the physical weight of your e-penis.
Exactly. I've got
It's a
big
pretty
digital
large
dick.
penis.
As
hacker energy.
Venya is deactivating, you head back to the lobby of the bank with the manager. How many credits are you putting in?
40,000.
Warhammer 40k.
40,000.
It needs to be a significant enough amount. Oh, actually, that's a good idea. Can I determine what would be a significantly large amount that
We can
all of this would seem legitimate?
roughly do 10 times. So 40,000 is roughly worth $4,000 today. Or
Okay.
how many is that? Like 3,500 pounds, something
He's
like
like,
that.
that's not as high as I thought it was.
No, 40,000 credits sounded like a lot of money.
Did.
For $4,000.
I'll never have that in my life.
Doesn't sound that big.
Didn't
does
you
it?
bring in like credit
In
chits or something?
addition to the bank.
What?
Yeah,
In
you have
addition to the bank.
those hard thingies, don't you?
I
money?
do, but okay. I'm willing to lose the 40,000 advance that I've been given, in order to get us in, which is effectively what I'm sort of sorting out here. I don't really want to also be sticking in my own credits at the same time. I may not get
if
any of
us
this back.
wanted to do it, it's the man who's a billionaire, who's Tony Stark.
So no, I'll say to them that today I'll be depositing this amount, and I'll come back in a couple of weeks' time with the rest.
Excellent. Well,
Nice.
thank you for doing business with us. We look forward to seeing you pretty soon.
Absolutely.
You're like-
Right. Thank you very much for accommodating me and for answering all of my questions. I feel greatly reassured.
Excellent.
And it makes
You're like,
sense 'cause
I'm
you
a
have
high
inheritance,
roller.
And
Would
it,
be
and it
4,000.
takes a while for paperwork to go
Here's
through.
$20.
Keep the change.
Yeah.
You filthy animal.
Um,
Slide the
awesome.
dollar across.
and then
Put this in the vault, please.
you exit the bank as well.
Doesn't even need interest.
Strom,
to be-
what are you doing with the ant?
So, can I crawl underneath the doors?
Sure,
the
I would
ant
say
spot?
this one you can. The one that you're immediately next to.
Oh, I wasn't gonna go to that one. I was gonna go to this one
Oh yeah.
and crawl under it and then go down to this wall and then listen on the other side to see if anyone is there or if I can hear anything.
Okay. Sure. So you head in here. And you make your way to the south wall.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. This is about where, based off of like Coyote's comlink notes, that you would know that the edge of the building is, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty close to it. But you do not hear anyone on the other side of it.
All right, Beth. And then is there like a crack in the wall or like a crevice that I can just hide the bot in?
Sure.
And then I kind of just want to leave it there for whenever we come back and need it.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, go ahead and make me, let's say, like again,
Ants on
another
like a fake plant.
Yeah.
Listening.
another like piloting check,
Pretty good.
something like that.
Right, my pilot walker pool, it says it's 10.
Okay, cool. Do that.
We're gonna blow that bomb up later to blow the.
Oh, I was listening to TikTok. Don't listen to that.
Suddenly my name is that bomb.
Is there like a limiter on this?
I think it's limited by.
It says
I
it's
don't
by
know.
reaction is the modifier. So I don't know if that would help.
Sure. No, wait. No, we'll say no limit for now. I don't know what it would be.
Okay.
I'll look it up later. I'm not worried about it.
10. Oh my god, I'm so bad.
We're gonna
3
get
hits.
14 successes.
How many
Oh my
successes
god.
did you say?
so bad. 80 successes.
3.
My limit is 27.
Yeah. The limit does not exist.
Okay, great. Yeah, you managed to find like a little crack in the wall that you can hide the ant inside.
Party. That.
Perfect.
The leak can always find the crack.
Yeah, I can.
So true.
Not in the
Kraken,
drug sense.
we.
Okay, cool. With that, you all make your way back towards, let's say, a couple blocks away, where you find a small little burger joint, where you can discuss the recon that you did.
Damn, steaks now burgers. Woo!
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did a great job that reconnaissance mission, I think. So, you're welcome.
I'm just sorry I couldn't get us all the way in and deal with the cameras.
Well, since you didn't go all the way in, we didn't really have to pull out. So,
We hate having to do a
Okay.
pull-out.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. I got caught. I was stupid. It was so dumb, and
Nah,
I
if
should
you
should
were
do better.
caught-
You know.
if you were caught, we wouldn't be here right now. You sensed it coming, and then you left before you really got caught.
You know that's true. Thank you. You know, it's nice to have some perspective around here.
Yeah, that's what I give. That's why they keep me here.
My concern is that there are more guards on site at night time than there are during the day.
So we thinking day heist
Might be a good idea. My other thought is obviously
at high noon.
we've got the names of Nikki, Claire, Mark, and Oleg, and I'm wondering whether it might be a better idea if we get somebody on the inside. We can either bribe or intimidate one of those buggers to let us in, and we shouldn't be.
Thanks for the follow, Ark, by the way.
Ark.
I'm wondering
So
if
many of
on
my friends in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if on cyberspace we can dig up any dirt on these people. Maybe find out if they got an illegitimate SIN number, or if they owe any favors or debts, ties to criminal underworld, anything like that. Is that possible?
You absolutely can.
Maybe.
You could try.
Can I Google? or
Just like, what do they owe?
How to hack.
They use Bing.
Ew. Are they catching or not? I'm gonna go to
Has
criminal.com and see if they
Has
pay.
Mark been blackmailed before?
Yeah. The one guy's gonna have like 30,000 he needs in student loans, and I'm gonna be like, "That's exactly the amount I was paid." I have the worst luck. I'm like, I will lose it for the mission.
Just ask Jeeves. That'll be fine. That'll get
Yeah.
us in.
Ask
I'm just gonna
Jimmy
look at their
Incorporated.
Twitter and see if they're posting anything. That's sketchy.
It says here you failed your drug test 20 years ago. What happened there?
Yeah. So when did you start smoking crack?
Mm-hmm.
I found about it on crack.com.
Man, this really is a fantasy world if Twitter.com is alive and well after the purchase by Elon Musk.
So true. 100 years later, it remains. Yeah. What would you
Yeah.
guys like to do?
I was
Blackmail
serious. I would like
Yeah,
to
can-
search the dark
I
web.
think we really are blackmailing.
I think regardless of when we do this heist, day or night, it's going to be hard for us to do this without knowing a way in. And we didn't really get to case the outside of the building.
Didn't get the case to joint, damn it.
Yeah.
We did-
My
we
new
did a little
accent
bit.
kicks in.
If we want someone to get in on the inside, how about our Erskine gets a little guard disguise himself, and he goes back
Mhm.
in.
Yeah.
Especially
We saw
with
what the guards were wearing, so we
Erskine
could
would have to do
replicate
an
that.
accent.
I feel like Erskine maybe made a an impact though, so maybe not Erskine
Impression.
because
Yeah, I think he
he-
made a
he's pretty
He
memorable.
wears a different
Yeah.
face and suit.
Well,
Wear a different face.
I would
Well-
assume that the
Name's
bank
Face.
closes at night, and that those managers and such wouldn't be there to recognize
I could
him.
try,
And
right?
he only met like the one security person,
Wasn't he the head of security?
Oleg, and
Mark.
another
was the
person
head
that
of
worked for Mark.
security.
Yeah.
Then
I will
maybe
say
we
I'm
should-
not skilled in disguise. That's
Okay.
not something I can do very well. But
Fair enough.
I do have a chameleon suit. So I can be
Well,
sneaky.
that's a sex thing.
Can I like
Absolutely.
I've got
Mhm.
reverse
myself to make
engineer?
myself sexy.
Like, could I, instead of taking information, could I plant information? Like, plant an ID that one of us works there into the
That's a nice
Absolutely.
idea.
Absolutely. Um,
You could literally pretend to be IT.
I think that's
Mhm.
the forgery skill. To forge like an ID. That being said, it would hold up probably to the security devices, to the cybersecurity suite, but anybody that works there would know that you're not a long-time employee. Because from
Well,
what
you
you
could just say
gathered,
that you were hired
You're like,
by
I'm
the
a temp.
daytime staff. Or like, yeah, the guy that you just talked to hired me. Or like, but like we go at night.
I have to fix the server.
anybody, like Erskine would have been able to tell that it seems like a pretty small, concise staff team. So everybody kind of knows everybody else that works there. And
Yeah, I
most
would
of the
know if
guards are
somebody
on.
random showed up to my work.
Exactly.
Be like, you don't fucking work here. Get out of here.
So you
In
could
terms of-
probably spoof an ID that would hold up to the security devices because they have no reason to believe, they have no reason to use like intuition and say this person doesn't actually work here if the ID says they do. But
Oh,
people would be able to tell like this person has never been here before. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
you
Here's
could
what we'll
copy
do.
like an employee's ID, but you could only get so far, really.
Right.
What if we just send someone in with like a clipboard, and they just are really confident with that clipboard
Mhm.
and pretending like they fit in?
They're like, corporate sent me for a checkup.
Nobody walks around with a clipboard.
Look like you belong.
Starting
It's
today,
fine.
we will.
Exactly.
Does anybody have like knowledge skills in like criminal underworld or sort of street knowledge and that kind of stuff? Who would know if who could do like a knowledge check to get dirt on the employees?
I have cybertech, magical theory, street and academic, and matrix. So
I was gonna say my disguise is not that high, but I do have a voice modulator and also a chameleon skin.
ooh,
But I do have knowledge in the shadow community. It's not necessarily
Oh.
like the underground world.
Cameron, you had your hand up. Does Rook have like a knowledge
Yeah.
criminal underworld? Or...
Yeah. Organized crime, New Paragon City.
Boom.
I used it earlier today.
There you
ding
go.
ding.
That's what we want.
Cool. Go ahead and give me a underworld knowledge check.
I think I'd probably just be like calling the person that I know that knows everybody,
Okay.
and just being like, "Hey, who do you know that works at this place, and are they shits?"
Cool.
That was a dice pool of 6.
Mhm.
No hits.
Of only 6.
Yeah.
Did we succeed?
Yeah, the rating was 3, and
Okay.
the pool was 6.
There you go.
Does anybody have any points in artisan or something like that where we be able to like, or I don't know if it's in the blueprints of like being able to figure out like whether we can blow through the walls, like how thick are these walls, what are they made of, that kind of stuff.
I have a knowledge skill set in engineering and forensics.
Ooh.
Does
See,
that help?
he went to school. I didn't. I just kind of lived
Mhm.
on the street.
I mean,
It's a magic
Would
trick.
that
we did
would that
get the
count, Dakota?
I'm so sorry. What was that?
I know about engineering and forensics.
Sure.
Could I-
to detect the wall thickness using the ant?
Yeah.
Sure. Give me an engineering check.
Bet.
Test. I mean.
Would he? Could we get an advantage due to having the blueprints as well?
Yeah. I'd love that. Yep. Take
What would
plus
that
2.
be? Just
Plus
plus
2 on
2?
it. Yep.
Yeah.
I got 5 hits.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, great. So you were able to tell, and you do a little bit more like light scouting with the ant while it's nestled in like the wall, and you determined that while the walls like have like a stone veneer, underneath them is like solid steel. Like this building is made to be a bit of a fortress. It's made to like withstand physical attacks. It would require some pretty heavy ordnance, which it would be more likely to damage the apartment building behind the bank than it would be to damage the bank walls.
You got a goddamn Faraday cage. How is there any cyberware?
What's up, Coyote?
So, perhaps I am reaching with my knowledge skills here, but I have combat tactics as well as sprawl life. Obviously, those are very disparate things, but I would be curious to know what a full-on reaction would look like to us getting caught trying to break in. Like, how would guards respond? Plus, like, what sort of outside force might come pretty immediately?
Sure. What skill did you want to use for that?
I mean, I'd prefer. I mean, they're the same. Combat tactics probably makes more sense, but I was kind of brought up sprawl life because I'm like, well, they're just
Sure.
like guard guys. They're like cops, so like that's everyday people.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, either one of them is fine.
And as we know that there are at least 12 guards and roughly what their initial weaponry are, and that we know that they've got an armory, and that there's an external response team, although we don't know what the response time is, can we use that for advantage as well?
Sure.
I help hack. Let's say even if we alert the guards. I know that like as a technomancer you can kind of like hack weapons and stuff.
Mhm.
Like the Decker can do the same thing. What if we make the armory door like hard to open? Or we like prevent them from getting like more of their ballistic stuff? Because we could be on standby for that, like even if infiltration isn't us per se. We can be like, well, now that they're alerted, we'll put up all these things in place. Makes it harder. Scramble the scanners. Maybe they don't hear the call at first that things are wrong. I don't know.
So is my plus two more dice to roll basically?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Then it's 4 hits.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to tell that like, I mean, trying to rob a bank is definitely going to draw the attention of the security teams. So what's going to happen more than likely if you guys get caught, if you're caught before breaking into the vault, you're more than likely just going to be taken off to like whatever Ginny Incorporated like prison system that they have. If you actually manage to get away with something, particularly if it's sensitive data, you'll probably be shot on sight.
Doesn't sound good.
Can I ask,
Nope.
once, let's say we enter the building with force and end up in a firefight with the guards on site, would a Decker be able to prevent the outgoing call for reinforcements or delay it?
If they were quick enough.
We got a Decker and a Technomancer.
True.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. It's like, because 12 people to handle between 6 of us. That's only 2 each.
Mhm.
If we go in the day.
And if we're able to prevent them from getting more weapons or their reinforcements coming quickly, we might be able to escape for that.
If we make a beeline for the armory to cut them off from rearming themselves with heavy weapons, then we've only got to deal with potentially 12 guys with pistols and submachine guns, maybe. Whereas a lot of you are armed with like either melee weapons and a huge amount of strength, or automatic weapons and sniper rifles, which is just going to put them on their asses.
Question for Mr. Moneybags, the face. For the vans,
Yeah.
is there a way to like have fake, I don't know if they have license plates in this time period, like have different plates we can swap with, or like that type of like peel away paint thing, so that way we can show up looking like we're black vans, and then we like peel them off, and then that way if we have to leave and they like know who we are, then they're like, well, this is a blue van, it can't possibly be them. AKA, have you seen the movie Taxi? That's all I need to know. Do you know Queen Latifah? Because if Queen
Yeah.
Latifah can do it, we can do it.
Mhm.
That's actually a remake of a film, actually. But that's by the by. I'm sure we could look at arranging something with a local like spray shop or something. We'd probably have to pay for it to be done, but we could like once we've done the heist, head there, you know, spray and change, and then head to the drop off.
Spray and pray.
Yeah, GTA style.
I'm just
I'd be
throwing out
able-
ideas.
Those are real Grand Theft Auto shit right there.
Would I be able to roll a mechanics knowledge check to know if that was even a thing that we could do?
What, like the fake license plates?
Yeah.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
how viable an option that would be?
Yeah.
I clicked it on the roll 20 thing. Do you see the roll?
I do.
That worked.
Amazing. You got one. So, yeah, I mean, you would know that it's certainly possible to at the very least change the physical license plates. Each vehicle is, when it's manufactured, comes with an electronic signature as well, and that would be a little bit trickier to spoof, essentially.
We hack it.
Yeah.
I was today hack.
If we're
the
getting away,
van.
we hack it.
Hack the van, exactly.
Yeah. I would change it to like the funniest
Ooh.
sort of license plate thing.
Ooh, analytical mind from Malik.
My beat.
Fast
My
for
beat.
you.
I'm clicking things, seeing how things work.
All right, digital signature 8008135.
Yes. Yes.
Best ever.
I mean,
For the audience, that spells boobies on a calculator.
Thank you. Thank you,
In
Brittany.
case they were like, what reference is this?
What is this?
do on the blueprints, did we see any way down from the roof?
Not immediately. It didn't look like there was roof access on the bank.
What's the nearest building that is taller than the bank?
That would be the 5-story apartment building.
How far away is that?
It was like
Let's go up
20 a
there.
20-foot jump.
It's doable.
Let's go up there, yeah.
It's a difference.
Especially if you've got cyber legs like a certain coyote.
Blades McGee.
Didn't we just establish that there was no entrance on the roof?
We could
Explosives
an
create entrances. Like
I was actually
Getting
I'm
loudly.
looking through the gear and stuff to see if there's like a blowtorch kind of thing. Something.
yes, there is. There's a welder,
Oh.
and I've got one.
Hey, can I tell you all the gear I have because that's what I actually spent my money on?
Yeah.
Hold on.
The difference between the 5-story apartment building and the 1.5-story bank is about 11.5 meters, by the way. So you'd be dropping 11.5 meters.
From
That's
roof to
doable.
roof.
Yes.
That's
I can do
doable with cyber legs. That's very doable.
That's
Here's what
very
I got.
true.
You ready? You
I
ready?
can
This might help with
very,
our plan.
very much do that.
I have climbing gear, crowbar, tear gas mask, med kit rating 1, med kit supplies because I'm making sure there's something in the med kit. I have metal restraints, so like handcuffs, but futuristic. Survival kit, which has a lighter compass, matches lightweight thermal blanket, several days worth of ration bars, and water purification kit, and a tool kit. Whose code was 80085, which is boobs, and that's why I picked it.
You're telling me that you have ration sticks, but we still had to stop at the fucking gas station to get you a gas station steak?
Listen, I've been living off of ration sticks all the time. I wanted a nice fucking steak.
You just got paid
On a-
40,000 credits. Of course you
Say
did.
this as I'm eating a burger.
Yeah.
7-Eleven steak.
I get tired of eating rats sometimes. God damn.
Would my welder, with time, be able to make it through the ceiling of the bank?
With a ton of time. I mean, you haven't been able to really analyze the structural integrity of the roof, but you would imagine it's of similar structural. Like there's probably some sort of like metal guard plus like the stone and stuff on top of that, let alone like the shingles and whatever sort of attic space they have.
Right.
It would take a lot of time, enough that you would probably be up there for at least a day.
With all of this like metal on
It
the
just comes through a
outside,
window.
how are they getting fresh air into the building?
It's not
There's
like
windows.
full coverage. They have windows. They have like the doors. There's probably like a ventilation system, I would imagine.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
It's a good
Is
thing
that
we
on
have
the
those
blueprints?
to find the vents.
Yes.
Can I use the
It
ventilation
can
system?
be. I didn't have a ventilation system prepared. I should have.
Okay.
But
It can be vague.
I-
It's fine.
Have
I
you
wanna
never
It's-
watched a heist movie, Dakota?
it's
Can I
not
make
big
a-
enough to fit a person through. That's what I'll say about it.
Can
But a
my
drone-
bots? Can my
Dakota,
bots fit
Where
through
is the air duct?
That's
Detailed plan of the
make a-
blueprint.
it?
Can I make a black market knowledge check to see how possible it would be for me to get Reggie's Skybreaker? So that I could cut through the ceiling.
Yeah, go for it.
Why even cut through the ceiling at that point? We can tunnel.
Yeah.
No.
Tunneling.
Not this again. We're not
We're
doing
like
this
tunnel
Tunnel
again.
into
Freeze
the
dried?
vault.
I was
Use
hoping that we could
freeze-dried.
get Coyote in like a white vest and get him to die hard
That
his way
was
through the
6
vents.
hits.
Yeah.
6 hits. So you would
I
know
got
it's
6
fucking
hits.
impossible.
Damn
It
Get
has
a
been
positive
passed down to-
affirmation that all of the Skybreakers are currently being locked up by Dragonsteel Group.
God damn it! But is that a yes? Can my
We don't
drones fit through
fight
the
dragons.
ventilation?
Some of them can. Like your
And then
What's the
micro
size permission?
up to mini size.
Many.
Plan
This
a
house is a
heist on the
prison.
biggest ventilation in the world so that we can complete the heist on a little bank.
Listen, your droid army can stay outside and fucking
Yeah,
gun
I'm
around with vans.
Sick of your fucking droid army
I
already.
can't sick my fucking gorilla through a ventilation system.
They're
This
gonna-
isn't a
the
real
gorilla-
RPG.
they're gonna see the
For
gorilla and
chats-
They're gonna go super battle
Oh,
droid. Take
man.
him out.
For chat's reference, I've put all of Malik's drones in this little storage closet down here.
It's incredible.
Oh my god.
Technically,
so-
I have duplicates of the beetle and ant.
Yeah, there's
just so
actually
everyone
more
knows.
than what's being shown right there.
I love that they're like tanks.
Fuck.
Because they really range from like this fucking big to like wham.
Watch
Oh,
out for
and
those
the
wrist
turn is
rockets.
different.
Exactly.
Oh man.
So I've got this sort of beginnings of a plan that seems really, really reckless, but I'm struggling to think of something beyond it. Which is that that we sort of walk in and just
Shut up.
start fucking shit
Just
up.
like,
Go
bah, 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 bah,
pretty much, yeah,
Sweet
like
as fuck.
like foyer scene in the Matrix. Just start
Yes.
taking out guards, beeline straight for the armory, so that we
Technically,
can take any
We're
heavy
supposed-
weapons that
the
we
first
want.
half
We're
of it's
supposed to be this
Trying
quietly.
stealthy.
I know.
He's
we
just
were
like,
stealthy to
what
find
if
out the info.
I went
We're
and
supposed
blasted?
We're supposed to do this
Anyway, I started
quietly.
blasting.
Rook.
I
Do
know.
we have
I'm
a
struggling.
general idea of how like the electrics are run through the city? Like how the
Ooh.
grid system
Yeah,
works?
woogie.
Yeah. So are you talking about like internet connection specifically, or how power works?
Both.
Or Keaton.
So the power connections,
You
everything
went
is
to a part of my brain with that, and it's like, oh.
You're welcome.
the power connection is there's like a city main electrical grid that like loops everything through a bunch of like landlines underneath the roads and stuff like that. It's regularly maintained by like city paid utility specialists, engineers. The like internet connection in particular, you would know that most places are connected wirelessly to the grid, usually through like a server room or something like that if it's particularly advanced enough. Or sometimes they have landlines that connect directly to like corporate hotspots. So for instance, this place, which is a subsidiary of Ginny, is probably connected through like some like an advanced fiber optic cable to a Ginny incorporated like substation, essentially, which is connected through a larger landline to their corporate HQ.
Did we notice any of those cables on the outside, or are they all run through?
They would have been
the
underground.
ground?
Yeah.
I
There's
have an
probably
idea.
like an electrical
But if we cut those lines, they'll know about it, right?
yeah. And they'll probably have some sort of like backup generator or something available.
I have an
However,
idea.
there's still going to
Can
be
I hack
a
the generator?
there's still going to be a time between when we cut them and
Yep.
them
Oh, yeah.
being like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Not
It
if
I
we
mean,
could-
magic it.
there's no way we do this without people knowing about it.
Yeah. I
Just,
could
we're just
send
determining when they find out.
Yeah.
one of my beetles into the ventilation system and have it be inside the vault. And then I could explode it. It has both flash grenades and smoke grenades on the inside of it.
Yeah,
And I could smoke out the inside of the vault. And I didn't hear, I don't think I heard anyone on the inside of the vault. But the vault is filled with smoke. I assume somebody's going to try and go into the vault to investigate it. And if maybe we could get somebody on the inside, they could be that person that goes on the inside to investigate. And that could be the way we get the briefcase.
Ooh.
Can I propose something in line with that?
Mhm.
Could you make it look like one of the staff like burned their hot pocket?
Yes.
That way it's like not like the fire department
So they
gets
burn their
called.
popcorn.
Yeah, and
Oh,
they're like,
like the
oh my god,
source?
it's him
The black
again. Yeah, like
smoke,
do
yeah.
it in their
I
microwave.
hate
that-
to
Oh,
say
like
this, but
started
I
the
doubt
fire.
there is a
Down near each
microwave
other.
on the inside of the vault that somebody
but, like,
is currently using.
to just to smoke out, like to get the staff to like evacuate for like a fire drill.
So you
I'm
don't want me to
wondering if-
smoke out the vault. I can just
I'm
smoke out
wondering
the
if then
building.
we can pose
Yeah.
as fire people.
Yes.
Wee woo wee.
I assume they would
Choking
have
our
their
man.
own. We could
So-
try it.
We would
That's
still
just an
have to keep the
idea.
real fire
Right.
people there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think two things with that. A, it's not a res hall, so
I know, it's-
people burning their popcorn is gonna be a
We'll have
little.
like a break room.
Just like
um,
late night staff just needs his popcorn fix.
But second, a part of our payment is like the contents of the vault,
hmm
right? So I think we're gonna need more time than just like a guy walking in being like, "Oh, everything's good."
Yeah.
I still think
Well-
dressing up as emergency services though might. Maybe
Well,
we.
still as a last ditch effort, I could still put the drone there in case we need the cover. Then I could just have the smoke bomb ready.
Does it have to be smoke? Could we fit it with tear gas or something? Or no gas?
They're pre-made. They only have smoke and flash grenades inside of them.
Okay.
Okay.
I think the whole idea is like they're so small that that's literally all they can fit inside of them.
5D chess time. We stage a bank robbery in this bank. And then most of
Show
us
up as
dressed
police.
as cops, show up and say, we gotta get everyone out of here.
We get to be
I
bad.
say,
This
what
is
if we do
5D
this?
chess right here.
What if we say we're from Ginny Incorporated and that we're here to test their security and we're going to be staging a bank robbery? And so that way, even if they catch us, we could be like,
We're like,
oh,
good
yeah,
job.
you
We
got
pretend
us.
to be their elite squad. And
Yeah.
that's why we look so fucking weird. We're in character. We dyed our hair for this.
I don't
No,
think
in
we
a-
have the sins for that.
In a
Mm.
very different
No.
direction. What is the security features on like the windows? Are there alarms rigged up that we could potentially override for a brief moment?
Good question.
I would say that would probably be allowed in the blueprints. So there's no there's like silent alarm. None of the windows are like openable necessarily. They're all like sheets of like essentially bulletproof glass. And if they happen to be broken, there's a silent alarm hooked up to each of them as well.
With the silent alarm wouldn't necessarily be for the staff. It would be for the AI. There's a disconnect because none of the staff or security were aware that the threat level was raised by the internal AI when Venya tripped some security. That was an interesting part, that there's a disconnect between physical staff and security and the digital security.
As far as we know, though, I mean, we also
Mhm.
had silent communication going between us.
I think she didn't reach a high enough level for it to have alerted them. Like, if she probably would have got a 3rd mark, I think that's when it would have been like.
Maybe.
She got 2 marks.
Then yeah, I'm gonna have you make a roll as well. I'm trying to figure out what that
plan
roll should be.
spiraling.
Let's
Insight
say
check.
do like a hardware check for me.
Let's buy.
Oh no, did she get reverse hacked?
Hardware.
Oh, no.
Hardware.
They're listening right now. They're a whole combo.
They know everything.
You're like,
We're
"You
already
dumb
under
motherfucker."
arrest.
It's 3 plus your logic.
We're in the paddy wagon.
They're
already.
taking the
It's just
microwave
like,
out of the
"Oh,
staff room.
geez."
So I've got a pool of 9. Okay. It's rolling. Ooh. It's rolling. Ooh. Okay. 5 hits.
5 hits. So you would have noticed while you were in the server room that aside from what you normally would have expected in a server room like that, there is some sort of like fiber optics cable which connects it outside of the building through the ground. There's also what seemed to be some kind of like wireless transmitter inside the server that I'll say with your hardware doesn't seem like it belongs to Ginny Incorporated. It doesn't seem like an actual like thing that belongs to the Megacorp, because they already have the fiber optics cable inside the building that connects them to the servers. So why would they include a wireless transmitter there too?
Interesting.
So it's somebody
Interesting.
else's,
Somebody
but
you
not ours.
you would correct. You would gather that somebody else is snooping on this bank.
Can I try and like interact with it and see what it is, or like discern if there is a signature of any kind?
Give me a hacking check as well.
Okay. Is that also 9?
I think so.
We could. No.
Okay. 3.
3. You're not entirely certain who it belongs to, but it definitely belongs to another mega corporation.
Ooh. I could. Okay, so if I know another mega corporation is spying on them, could I put out feelers within those mega corporations to see if like any of them would want to help us? Or I'm obviously telling the team this too. Like, by the way,
Well-
guys, there's another corporation also spying.
I
in
think
this.
I would
more
assume
so
that.
we could pin it on them instead of us. You know
Well,
what I mean?
I also
That's-
would assume that the mega
don't think they'd help
corporations
us.
that is spying on them is the same corporation that probably
that's
hired
fucking
us
Yeah.
for the job.
Why wouldn't they give us that information though? Like, if they have an inside
So it
plug, like that would
doesn't
have
come out
helped
to
us.
them.
I don't know.
It-
Why did
it
they do
might-
anything?
It
We
might
don't know
be
how they
that,
work.
that the response to us robbing the bank is giving them information on this corporation. Corporation is able to do. So giving an idea of their capabilities, like, so it
Mhm.
could be that people that hired us.
Or
But I would say generally
you're gonna steal
making a
more
deal
info.
making a deal with a corporation is a bad idea.
Yeah.
I just feel like if
That's
because it
why
would
we
help
work for fixers.
hack if I had known that there was already like an inside thing I could connect to. So that's why I'm like, I don't know that it is who we're working with, because
Hmm.
they would have mentioned that. Like, that would have
Yeah.
been useful.
It could just be a rival one.
In addition, the nature of the
transferring
device, you had such a good hardware roll that I'll allow you to know this as well. The nature of the device that you noticed allows it to transmit data from the server, not to receive input.
Yeah, so they're not hacking in, they're literally stealing info. So they
Can-
could already be doing that, or like stealing
you-
something.
Can Venya track where the signal is going to?
I would say that she would need to have her persona there again. That's as much data as she was able to gather while she was there. And in order to figure that out, she would need to go back.
It removed flags from me, right?
Correct.
So I could go back in theory.
Did she change her persona's physical appearance, and would they
She can.
still recognize it as the same persona, or
Not
In the
necessarily.
schedule, is there a time when there's a guard shift where there would be a vulnerability that I could just run in and
Physically?
maybe no, with my persona.
I mean, the only cybersecurity you saw before the host gets activated is that patrol IC. The only thing you have to do is make it past that IC.
Okay.
And the only way into the host is through the front doors of the building, digitally.
Yeah, and if you show up though without somebody they thought you were Erskine's persona when he came in. That's why they weren't immediately like, who is this? They assumed you came in with him because you did. So you wandering around they already knew he was there. If you go in alone without him, that might be an immediate mark, as opposed to last time where you didn't get
Yeah.
marked till
Right.
later.
Would that be an immediate mark?
It's like you're
I would
visiting.
say so.
It's like you're visiting a bank's online website. They notice the traffic coming in. They notice that there's a new signature here, and they'll start investigating what this persona is, essentially.
But as we have the schedules for the guard change, if Venya went in with the change of the guard as part of their suite of presumably potentially 12 people entering the building all at once, could she blend into all of those?
Does she have to be
So,
on site to add her ID as a part of the working personnel there?
Again, reminder: she wasn't able to get the guard schedules. That was what tripped the alarm that brought the program.
Yeah.
Okay.
And plus,
Right.
shift changes might not be all 12 at once. They might have
Yeah.
staggered shifts, so it might only be 2 or 3 people or 4 coming in.
I still feel
Well-
that this is perhaps on the side from what our actual objective is, which is to pull something out of the vault.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah, but we're just looking for angles of ways to do it subtly.
Or subtly for as long as we can until we get caught.
I kind of think that we should combine all of these sorts of ideas at once. Well, we've got a small drone in there. Have it pull off some sort of distraction, a flash, a smoke, or something. Pull the guards away just for that brief moment. And if our more technically cyberspace gifted individuals are able to, I don't know, prevent communications or something, then we could just blitz in there and have another one of those drones run in there, grab our stuff, and get out.
The gorilla! Send in the gorilla!
So, these doors are fancy, right? Could we smoke out our room and can we find a way to corral everyone into a room and then lock them in that room?
Maybe. Depends on how it would hold, though.
Yeah.
Because for
As
sure,
a
I'll keep them out of the armory if possible. I'll keep that door
Mhm.
locked. Change the code
Well,
on them.
I
and
used-
If our aim is to come at this by creating as much chaos as possible, Rook, could you get hold of some of the goblin gangs to also assault the building at the same time?
Do we want
we'd
as
have
much
jam.
chaos, or do we want minimal chaos? I feel like we want minimal.
You want minimal.
Yeah, and then the more people we get involved, the more chance it comes back to us, or we'll have to pay
Mhm.
them. So
Yeah.
It's like
we
a
can't
brief,
always bring in an army.
intense- A brief, intense moment of chaos, but then nothing before.
And
nothing
something
after.
beautiful.
What if we started a fire?
That's what we're saying, but with
We
the bot.
moved back. Back to the microwave.
Just
we
let us
just
know
have
where the
to-
microwave is.
Plant a hot pocket in the
I
Yeah.
still
microwave.
think that's our best plan. We put a hot pocket in there. We just set it to 6 minutes, and then we walk away and let nature do its
Rome, do
thing.
your
But it's
bots
a 1
come
hour.
equipped with a hot pocket?
They can. All of them have they actually have pizza rolls installed, but I can switch those
Oh.
out for hot pockets.
I would probably also say that based off the blueprints, it doesn't seem like the vault has any actual ventilation.
Mm.
So
Well,
you can't
create a
just fly a
distraction in
drone
another
in
room.
there. It'd drop off a smoke grenade.
But the money will suffocate.
But the money will
I'm not worried
suffocate.
about it. It's credits now.
GPU is overheating.
Well, regardless, the idea, right, is to funnel everyone somewhere to like minimize interactions and fights. So we don't necessarily need to smoke out the vault, but we just need to smoke out something to get everyone to evacuate or to move to a secure location.
When they buzzed me through to the staff area,
Mhm.
was it like a individual person's private network that allows the doors to open, or was there like key card access?
So
or
that
was
door
it...
and the other doors that you saw in the main lobby were all just wooden doors. They just swung open into that area.
Mhm.
And those were the doors that led to the bathrooms, the employee break room, and the employee work area. From what you saw on the other side, it looks like the main office had a locked but normal door. The armory and the door that led into that the hallway towards the vault were both like synthetic steel electronic doors.
Could we lead them to the server room and then lock them in the server room? That would be past the armory, so they
We
wouldn't have the weapons.
Here's what we do. We cut all of the plumbing lines and we flood the building, ruining their electronics. And then we swim down to the vault.
Because we all know there's a toilet in there at least, because the money does need to poop.
There's
I think-
6 toilets in the main room.
They've all got
Yeah, there's a lot of
bidets, too.
toilets.
It's more water.
Mhm.
I will say, with the
use
amount
needle
of
to blow up the toilet.
with the amount of cybernetic enhancements some of us have, we don't float.
True.
So
Yeah.
I think we have a good plan to
swim
like
is an
create a
optimistic
distraction
plan.
and get in. Hard part will
Mhm.
be getting out and escaping. So I think the getting in part is pretty much fine.
Yeah, I think the idea of locking them all in a room is the best idea we have.
Yeah,
The
if we
idea,
can-
the follow up though is how long can we keep them secured in there? And if we do want to do the server room, when they get out, they will have immediate access to the armory.
I don't
How are you
think
planning to get people into a room, by the way?
For the sake of controlling this conversation and helping like compartmentalize it for you, there are 3 main objectives you guys have to accomplish. The first is to get into the building. The second is to open the vault, and then the third is to get out. I would
Yep.
advise you to focus on each step individually rather than everything all at once.
Everything everywhere all at once.
Exactly.
I don't think that us herding the employees into a room deals with the cyber security.
No, it doesn't. No.
Yeah.
No,
Which is what is contacting the actual threat of the corporate's mega security coming.
But that's where
Yeah.
we come in handy. So like we'll be in the van, me and the Decker, and we'll just like me and Venya are just gonna
to do that, we need to get Venya and Shade in as quickly as possible to the server room hardline. So whatever we do to get in, it needs to be real quick, straight to that point in order to do that. We also need to get to that point anyway to control the armory, so the guards that we do have to face as a physical threat can't bring heavier weapons to bear.
Yeah.
So whatever we do to get in, which I think at the moment, are we all of the opinion that that's either a window or the front door?
I think the front door.
front door. Because window will set up an alarm before we're able to do
Dakota, do we
anything.
has there been any similar like bank robberies or anything like that for even other corporations that we would know about in recent history?
I'll let you use that same knowledge check you've been using, the underworld crime one.
Use that one.
Yeah.
One hit.
1 hit. Nothing like immediately springs to mind. Most of the corporations are like quick to push that kind of stuff under the rug. I would say that you feel, based off of other sort of like robberies and jobs that you've pulled off before, that you're heading in the right direction. The real goal of getting in is to disable the physical security and the cyber security. And often in solving one problem, you have a much easier time in solving the other.
Yeah. So as long as we do a cyber fight while you guys are doing an actual fight with the physical people there, we'll be able to at least like prevent the people you're physically fighting from getting more powerful, or preventing like more people from being called in. So like we can split up. Like she can focus just on the server related thing to get into the vault or do whatever has to be done. I can focus on like stopping them from getting to the armory or stopping the call from going out, vice versa. It's whatever we could do.
I think
So
right now, the way that it's sounding this needs to go for me is that we take out the cybersecurity before anyone steps into the building. Because then they're going to have our digital signature. And then once that's triggered, the people in the building will probably be on alarm and trying to reset it as fast as possible. And we have to rush in at that point.
Yeah.
I agree.
Some things
Because-
will have to be hardline for though. That's the downside.
that's the problem.
Something-
Yeah, I think
Something you could do, Rook, that you've done before, in order to momentarily disable the security, the cybersecurity, you could try and interact with the power lines that hook up to the building, briefly and temporarily shutting the building off, essentially. That way you can get in and do the things that you need to do in real space, which then lets the Decker and the Technomancer deal with the cybersecurity as its own contained threat.
Is
So,
there
like-
a way I can attack?
Really quick, Coyote, since he had his hand up, and then
Would
Erskine, and
there-
then Benya.
Because I just don't know very much about the cyberspace and that hacking stuff.
Yep.
Would they need a hardline connection to stop like a security call from going out, or would they just need to be in the area and able to detect that a call was happening?
I don't think so. I think anytime a call goes out, they would have the opportunity to interact with it. It would just, that would be like somebody's full action each time
Yeah,
is
like jamming a
blocking
frequency.
the signal until you shut off
Yeah.
the
So-
source of the signal.
So could I get someone like onto the roof of the building and they can camp out there to block calls for a little bit as we get someone in hardline to shut the whole thing down?
You could do that.
Do we have multiple people though that would be able to take that job on? Like, I know we have Decker and Technomancer, but like it's. I guess Brittany, is your like capability? Would you be able to do that with your
Yeah,
character?
I think I can, because I have the cyber tech stuff. Like I'm not really being as magical as like that aspect of Technomancer. It's more so like almost being another Decker, but just like a little different in what we can do.
Okay.
So I'm mostly focused in the cyber tech like matrix stuff. It's just
Okay.
that I can also affect like, whereas the Decker needs the computer to like sit there and hack in and use their like digital version. I'm kind of more like Neo, where I can walk around and like if I run into a guard, for example, and they have like a cybernetic arm or gun, like I can try to hack into that as like my mind. Does that make any sense? Yeah.
You're like psychically linked
So-
to cyberspace,
yeah.
essentially.
So I would be somebody who's able, like, if you needed me to go on the roof and do vice versa, and I don't have to physically be in there to do what I need to do, I could try to block signals from anywhere. I've just been in the van because they want someone like me to experiment on, like the government. So I'm trying not to like.
You're like
show
how
my face.
cyberware works in Cyberpunk the game,
yeah.
whereas Leah is like how it works in everything else.
Yeah.
And everything else, yeah. In
Erskine.
every 90s hacker movie.
Erskine.
I'm happy to wait till after Leah.
You're muted.
I was just trying to figure out, like, 'cause if they identify us, then that makes this job like way more dangerous. Because then, like, even if we pull off the heist, like, they could just track us down. So I'm trying to figure out, like, kind of along similar lines, like, we can shut off the power, but like, is there a way we can make like fake personas, so it doesn't look like it's us doing it.
I have jammers. Would that help?
So for you, Venya, your persona, you can basically change at a whim. You can change like essentially your IP address. You can change like anything about
Right.
that. And as long as nobody's like paying attention to you while you're doing that, it acts as kind of like a clear for your cyber heat, essentially. Shade, on the other hand, while Shade can change her like cyber persona as well, it has a unique cyber like signature that
It looks like me.
that
It is me.
that essentially leads back towards Shade because of the fact that she's a technomancer. So she cannot ever really escape her cyber identity.
Which is why my luck's so shitty and why I don't own an apartment.
Yeah. Okay,
Off the
Erskine.
grid.
Alright, so what I'm thinking is the order of events is that Rook cuts the power. We roll in smoke grenades, flashbangs, distract, in order to beeline to the server room and
Vault.
armory, whilst Shade blocks the outgoing call. Venya can then get into the system and shut down the alarms, and both can hack us through the doors and into the vault. Whilst
Yeah.
Rook and Coyote take care of the guards, and with Strom's help, we get the civilians in the building, the workers, into the office, which is a door that can be locked, and lock them in there.
If we're doing it during the day. If it's at night,
If we're
it'll
doing it
probably
during the
only be the
day,
guards.
when there's less guards during the day, we then make our way down to the vault, take the briefcase and whatever else we can get our hands on, leave the building, get into the vans, go and respray the vans, and then take the goods back to the drop-off. What am I missing? What needs to change?
I don't think we know of a way to shut off the power. I'm starting to think a bit ahead. We don't know how to open the vault door, and if that will require power or connection to
Well,
any
you
server.
turning off the power is only going to turn it off momentarily, so that to give us an opportunity to take control of the systems. The power will be
Theoretically, yes. However, say we disconnect like from the server entirely, you know.
Turning off the power could also like initiate a safeguard
Mhm.
for the door
There's-
to like be shut down.
Yeah. Or even just like send a signal to Ginny to let them know like, oh, something's going on, like send a team.
Well, that's why we need to get hold of the block the outgoing calls and get hold of the server in order to prevent anything from being alerted.
I mean, would it be possible to basically just short the system for like a couple seconds? That's really all we would need just to get everyone right into place and then start.
The dangerous
What
part
you're
is
talking
the
about-
two of us being out of the van. That's the thing.
What you're talking about, by the way, is an EMP.
Yes, kind of.
Well, like I was.
Also, on the way out, I'm hoping Venya can also wipe the server so there isn't any video or digital evidence of us being there in the
Like
first
that's a lot for Venya to do, and a
I'm
lot of stuff you
realizing
think is gonna be quick.
Venya's feeling very stressed about this job.
No, here's the thing: the cyber stuff is gonna like as you guys are fighting the guards, like we're gonna have to fight things. So like we can't just do all this and like okay, this is done and this is done. It's like
That's
I
what I
can
was saying
block the signal
to.
until the signal doesn't happen anymore. Then I can move on to the next thing. Like
That's what I was saying to save
just get out,
Shade
yeah.
having to block the signal. We can use my jammers, which will block the signals from
yeah,
going out.
so that way I
Yeah.
can focus on like
Well,
other
the
whatever we need.
jammers, the jammers will shut down devices. so that's gonna shut down.
I looked it up, and it looks like they only block signals from
Signal
going
relay.
signal, wireless, and radio communication. That's the only thing they block.
Oh, perfect.
but not
So
wired
luckily we know.
communications.
Device
Yeah.
floods the airway with electromagnetic jamming signals. Jammer generates blah 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 blah. Jammer only affects devices and personas on those devices that are within the jamming area, but it affects all of them. And walls and other obstacles prevent the jamming signal from spreading. So, I think
Oh.
there's
You put one on the
potential
roof
to-
and one inside.
But if you put one on the roof, it's not
Yeah.
gonna do anything
yo.
because it won't hit any of the devices.
Shut up.
Unless there's a transponder on the roof that it's going through. Was there a transponder on the roof that things could go to?
It was
I
going
assume
underground.
Probably
the
not.
signal would go external at some point when it's like leaving the building. But regardless, yes, I have multiple, and we can put them wherever we need them to be.
And what I'll say to that is, based off of your conversation so far, you would know that it would block any like immediate like police like calls in, like panic buttons, stuff like that goes out on like airwaves.
Mhm.
But there is a connection that goes. It would even block that weird transmitter that Venya found. But there is a fiber optic cable that
Yeah,
travels
which is the
underground
connection.
to the corporate hotspot.
So we
So
still need
at
to
some
cut
point you
the
will still
underground
get security forces
Y'all
called on
should
you.
steal that transmitter
Do we?
if you can get it
So,
physically.
Brooke?
do we know if the AI security that was roaming around in
Mhm.
the lobby, if that is a persona that would be taken down by Malik's jammer?
It would not be. It's not like a signal, it's a program that's running. It's a visualization of a like digital program.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it acted as a persona or if it had a device location that it was transmitting from.
Personas, the language is kind of unclear, but to me at least, but personas represent users essentially.
It's an avatar, basically.
Yeah. That countermeasure is it's called an IC, which is not run by anybody in particular but the host. It's like almost like an animal. It's like a digital animal that the host uses to carry out its wishes.
A Digimon.
Yeah,
The bank
it's like
itself is almost a person in
I think it's
cyberspace.
just I think it's just a visual representation for the persona to see that represents the program. Like, there's not actually a persona or anything. It's just how the persona perceives.
Yeah, it's like
that.
Tron, basically.
yes,
Each
I
program is
understand.
a person.
Right.
I understand that. I mean the point that it had to move around in physical space within like
Mm-hmm.
the
Digital world.
area. Yeah, within the digital world. Seeing that was making me question whether we put a jammer like right next to the server, if it wouldn't be able to move out of the jammer range, or like if it would be cut off from that point.
You can always try.
Hmm.
You don't know. Rook would not know.
No, he wouldn't.
The jammer.
You're telling me
the
you
jammer-
never jammed yourself before?
The jammer wouldn't,
Oh,
it wouldn't prevent the hardline connection either, because
Correct.
it's not wireless.
Mm-hmm.
no, it wouldn't. But if we can
Yeah,
at least remove like any sort
No,
of
yeah.
wireless signals, we can get into the room.
I
Yeah.
just meant that way Venya can for 100% actually hardline in.
Venya?
That's not gonna mess her up.
Is it a like sentry bot that is just positioned on that door, and then when I walked through it, that was why it noticed me? Or is it something that I can like
Pretty
see
hydrate?
it move around, ooh, and then wait for it to like move away and then kind of sneak past it? Like, can I stealth past it if I'm paying attention to it, or is it just something where it's like if I get to that checkpoint, it will notice me?
So it scans every like avatar, we'll call it icon, I think they're called, inside the lobby. But while it's scanning something else, there's a window where you could move on to the other room without it noticing that you've left necessarily. Yeah, it's tricky to pull off. It marks that you're there and puts you in its like execution task list to scan you as soon as you enter the host. It's just while you're in another room, you can be safe from it if you're able to go without being scanned.
So what if we head back in? Maybe not necessarily Erskine at this moment, since they recognize him and know him.
Yeah.
But like, I'm thinking Venya and someone else head in to either open a new account or talk about like a mortgage or whatever. Like an in-depth service that they would need to take care of. At that time, Strom activates like the flash bang or smoke grenade or something in the conference room, bringing the guards there. Then a lot of things kind of happen simultaneously at this point, but Venya can do her best to make her way
And you
to
can
the,
excuse yourself to the bathroom beforehand.
or
Start
Venya
hacking
can
from the
go
bathroom.
go to the
I agree
the
with most of this. I
server room.
think I need to be in the van.
Yeah, it's
I
very
think
dangerous.
I think you
for us
need to
not
be in
a
the
van.
building.
Don't you need to
Well-
hardwire in for a lot of
Yeah.
this?
I
Well,
need
remember,
someone to
Yeah, she
hardwire.
needs someone to
yeah,
hardwire.
then you can use
Oh.
us as
But
a
I'm gonna
conduit.
be in my persona mode, so
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna be
Mm.
like
In her
awake
body,
in my
yeah.
body.
That's what I was saying earlier, because I was like, this is, like, I'm fine with all this, but it's so dangerous for the two of us to be outside of the van.
Really
Yeah.
quick,
We need to
really
be-
quick point of clarification as well, because I'm just thinking of this too. The jammer will block your comlink communications too, and will block
like that.
any ability to have someone else be a data uplink for Venya, because
So
there
Venya
won't be
does-
any wireless
jammers.
signals there.
I'll just
Venya
start
does need
jamming
to
from the
get her
van.
over
Well, I was also wouldn't whoever gets hardwired in, don't they need equipment to hardwire in anyway?
You can use it with your comlink. Your comlinks are equipped with like data jacks
Okay.
essentially. So that's
I was
fine.
like, I don't have a data jack in my equipment, so
As long
Actually-
as someone makes it in,
That actually
we
might
can
be
have
a
it.
thing that you need in order to do it.
The reason that I say that I think you need to be in the building is both because of the jammer, but also we are foreseeably the people who can't like hack or really participate in the cyber space. We are going to be taking care of like getting into the vault, dealing with security, like the physical world threats. We can't stand next to the server letting you use us as like a satellite,
Also,
essentially.
I just read that I can set the jammer to not interfere with devices or personas that I designate.
Oh, perfect. Okay, great.
I think
That helps.
so. It's not like I need you to stand next to the server. I just need someone to get there
get
once,
to, like, plug it in, and then you can leave.
and then they can leave.
What are
we
we
sure that
plugging
it
in?
works that way? Because
I would say that it works that way. That's fine.
I was under the understanding that Erskine had to get there to act as a conduit, like a satellite.
no.
dish
Erskine just had to
receive
be
the-
in the building.
Somebody just had to
Or
physically like
Remember, he
insert
was
a
in the building,
flash
and then-
drive and then walk away.
Voice of the game runner, so I can clarify this mechanic. So you, Venya, have the ability to upload yourself directly to the server room to interact with all of the electronic measures there. Someone else can put a device into the server room that allows you to act wirelessly through that device. You only need to do that once, but if anyone interacts or breaks that device somehow, or it gets overloaded, you are kicked out of the server because you no longer have that connection. Versus if you're there in person, nothing can disable your access to the server unless you yourself choose to or you die.
So either someone gets into that server, puts in a flash drive, or I go in and I'm in the server room, just hoping you guys don't get me shot.
Yep.
Seems like a big risk for one mission.
I would like to stay in the van.
Can I see the map of the bank again?
Yeah.
The main thing I'm putting into perspective is when we made our stats and when we learned about these characters, the whole point was that the two of us that are the technology people should stay in the van because we're not the people that are armored to take hits. Like, we fight in a digital space. So I think anytime we can avoid physically being anywhere we could be physically hurt is better for us. You gotta think of us as like we're the '90s nerds, like hacking, hide us in the van.
I think I've got like a sequence of events here, again to be dissected by all of you, which is that we roll in, the physical people roll into the building. We set off the distraction, pulling the guards away from the armory slash server, blah blah blah. We then set off our own smokes and whatnot to take out the guards. I'm probably out of the 4 physical team members the least helpful in combat. So I could go and jack in to allow Venya access to the servers. Then we've got control of the physical bodies in the building through combat. It will take combat. We've got control of the servers in order to disable the internal building security. Between the 2 of them, we can get access to the back rooms and the vault. That will also take combat to get further down there. We can get everything in the vault, make our way out, hopefully either destroy the servers on our way out, or wipe them if that's possible. And we need to do it quickly enough that the external call for backup that will go out, that we get out before backup arrives.
Part of the concern as well with splitting the group in that physical way comes from, like, the van is foreseeably right outside the front door, right? If they roll up, like Max Tech rolls up with all of their guards, you're sitting right next to them.
How
I
far
assumed we wouldn't be
away?
parked right out front. I thought we
Yeah.
would just park wherever we were for reconnaissance.
How
Yeah.
far away does like our technomancer need to be? Like, do I and Brittany need to be?
I think the technical answer is theoretically infinite, but I don't know how much I like that. I'm gonna say you have to be within the vicinity in order to interact in that way, just for the sake
Yeah, like
of.
we can't be like 3 buildings
You
away.
can't
We have
be.
to be like parked
You probably
nearby.
can, rules as written, be in like Africa or something while all of this is going on.
Because you're like firewall. hack.
Exactly. But I don't know how much I actually like that for the tension of being in a heist.
Could we set up like a bot of Malik's? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was
Yeah,
gonna
just
say,
to
yeah,
protect us.
we'll need to set up like a blind then for you 2 to work out of, and then probably leave a drone.
Well, yeah, indefinite. There will always.
He's
I
on
will
the
always
drone.
have drones in the car. I can activate them, as well as my van has defense. It has cameras, it has motion detectors, it has guns, it has shocks. Like, it has its own protection. My babies are my babies. I want them
Oh,
safe.
we in that van for sure.
Yeah, and as
Yeah,
well as theoretically, Shade is my sister, and I understand she's coveted, so like I have protection for her.
Coveted and squishy. Okay?
Yeah.
My points did not all go into body.
Here's
But I
what
got a rack and bag.
here's what I'll do. I'll
But I would also like to point out, I am not. While I'm not as weak as the Decker, the Technomancer, I'm also not like an armored tank either. So I will not be putting myself into direct battle as well.
Yeah,
Goddamn
you're about as squishy as me, I think.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna summarize everything that you guys have learned about the bank so far into a little Word document or into like a Discord message or something like that. I'll leave you guys to ponder it. Take some time over the week, think about what you think the sequence of events is, and then when we come back next week, we'll finish up this planning
do the
discussion,
heist.
and
I
then
feel
we'll
like
do
this
the
is
heist.
really close to what we're actually gonna
Yeah.
like. I feel like
There's a
it's pretty
few
much
random things that you guys are like,
Mhm.
how do we plan for this eventuality?
And
I think it's only because we
there's-
haven't physically actually done combat yet, so we're like, this
Yeah.
is how I think it
Yeah.
works.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think there's also a certain amount of, you can only plan so much for a heist. There's always going to be unknowns,
Fucking watch
like,
me.
and it's like all the unknowns are like potential death risks for all of us. So we're like, how many of these unknowns can we get rid of? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some stuff to iron out. But if we all come back with a PowerPoint presentation of what how we can enter the bank, then we'll be good.
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool. So
This
with
was a good
that,
planning session, though.
it was good. A good recon session too. You guys got lots of great information.
Working out what we do, baby.
Took as long as a normal stakeout.
Yeah. Keaton, did you have something? It looks like you want to say something. Oh, okay. Never mind. Cool. So, what? No worries. What we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap things up there, and then we'll be back next Saturday at 9 a.m. PST for the heist. We'll see you guys then. Goodbye.
So anyway, I started blasting.